Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados live on Think Critical YouTube. Your Saturday morning delight is back, and not only is it a big geek week, we had huge debuts from Marvel, Image, DC Comics. We've also got an enormous sports weekend going on. We got the World Cup kicking off. We got the NHL finals, the NBA finals. Dylan, we've got UFC Freedom 250. Is that tonight?
Yes, that's tonight.
Dude, the setup looks pretty sick.
Setup looks sick. They had the press conference at the Lincoln Memorial last night, which was sick. So they had everyone walk out from like down the Lincoln Memorial steps to the press conference. It was really cool.
Yeah, very nice. Did anybody get slapped around? No fights?
No, it was other than Josh Hokett, the press conference sucks. It's terrible. Every single, if you've never watched if anyone watching this has never watched a UFC press conference, it's the dumbest people of all time asking the same questions every single time. It's like, how does it feel to fight here? What's your strategy for beating this guy? How do you feel?
I'm gonna punch him more than he punches me.
And it's the same answers every time. It's the worst. The MMA media sucks ass. But Hokett had a very funny he has a good gimmick, but last time he was going all out talking shit to everyone and people got mad about. This time he was like being this very shy, timid, humble guy, and he's like, Tapura, you're one of my favorite fighters. I love you so much. And he was just like every time he was doing that the whole time. It was great. Hokett was great. Rest of the conference sucked. Other than the atmosphere, that was cool being at Lincoln Memorial.
I mean, how often do you put microphones in front of athletes and get anything worth even listening to? Like, they don't get asked anything worth asking usually, but even when they do, it's like the people that get asked are the worst possible people. That's why there's so many great skits of you go out there and you want to play good, you try to play good, and I think we played pretty good, get 110%. Yeah, it's just the same cliches over and over.
But that's better. A lot of times, yes, but fighters are much different than most athletes, so you could get some interesting things from them, but you don't with MMA media. They're the worst. The MMA media is awful.
I mean, they're still trying to interview people like it's football.
Hockey players have the most boring answers, but if you look at the other side of the spectrum, you have your Rachel Zeglers and your what's her name, Atwood, who's
Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock. Yeah, you really all cocked that one up. Yeah.
My favorite
no cock.
You got 30 seconds to turn me off to your project. Go.
Wow. You did it in 5.
My favorite little skit that they did on SNL, or one of my favorites, was when they were asking like the Secretary of Defense, how exactly would you defeat our military if you were Iraq or whatever? They're like, I don't want to tell you that. I don't want to give away that information. They just kept asking all these stupid questions that nobody could ever actually answer.
They did one too, where with like the British Parliament, where the Irish, Colin Quinn was like the IRA guy, and he kept us like, "Yeah, what route would the Prime Minister be taking home tonight?" Just out of curiosity.
Would you be going by the bog? Anyone?
Yeah. Did you ever see that the Monty Python skit with John Cleese as the soccer player? How did you win the game? Because I kicked the ball and it went into the net. And he just kept repeating that over and over again.
Well, I always liked watching bowling just because I liked hearing the color commentary. It's like, what do you think he's going to do on this one, Jeff? I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think he's going to try to knock the pins down with that ball. Back to you.
So you give us guff for watching football and UFC and stuff, but you watch bowling.
No, I don't watch it like I'm interested in it. Like sometimes I put things on in the background to listen to, and like golf and bowling are really kind of like, they're just kind of like pleasant, low, it's almost like listening to soft rock radio. It's just soothing in a certain way. But then when you actually listen to it, you're like, man, this is terrible.
What do you think he's going to do? I don't know. He's going to probably try to fucking put the ball in the hole. That's the objective every single time.
No, once you throw the first ball, you have to do a split. It gets a little bit like there's some more things going.
I think he's going to try to hit that pin and knock it down, and maybe hit that one.
Yeah, but there might be 2 or 3 ways that you could attempt that. You try to predict.
But once you've watched bowling for a while, aren't you pretty much familiar with all the ways? Like,
I don't know. I've never watched bowling, Sparrow. This is
it's thing. No, it's just I've listened to it more than I've watched it. But I mean, I watched it when I watched Kingpin, which we recommended, I think, last week. That everybody.
That's a great movie. Dylan, have you watched bowling?
No.
Have you ever watched golf, Dylan?
No.
I've definitely watched an entire golf tournament when Tiger Woods was number one.
Yeah, but that was always exciting because a fight could break out between him and his wife or something,
Here in Massachusetts,
Or him and the babysitter that he's fucking.
Yeah.
Dude. Here in Massachusetts, we got something called candlepin bowling. So there's smaller balls with no holes in it. You can just palm it, and they're smaller pins. And the candlepin bowling would come on at 12:30 in the afternoon when we ran out of cartoons to watch. So you knew cartoons were over when fucking boring bowling comes on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's time to go play Little League. It's time to leave the house before mom yells at us.
My brother-in-law, I unironically watches fishing. He sits there with the beer and he gets excited and like, John, this guy, he's using this lore and stuff. And I'm like, well, I guess that's the way I sound to him when I talk about comic books. So
yes, yeah,
that's a good point to remember. Is everybody's got their thing, and we're all bored by other people's things, but our thing is the most exciting thing.
Your thing isn't my thing, but if you don't stop talking about it, I'm gonna learn you how weird it is.
I get excited when people get excited about their thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really a sports guy, but my buddies when they go on and talk about MMA or whatever, I kind of like the excitement about it. But on my own, I'm not going to watch it.
I would get excited watching fishing. Fishing's great. Getting a big,
but it's a guy. I mean, maybe the moment when he catches something and you're like, "Oh, what is it?" But like the hour that he just sits there putting bait on the lure, like I don't know, that's very compelling.
He bought an 80-pound bass on some 40-pound weight. You can
imagine. You got to find the perfect spot on the river where you're not close to other people, but you feel like you can get a certain kind of fish because of the terrain and stuff. Oh yeah,
that's not fun to watch at all.
That's like a split that. Maybe elicits a little bit of air noise from the nose. Like the guy's like, this bend of the river is where you get the best perch. And
fishing is just a way to fishing is just a way to get food. To me, it would be no different than watching a woman go through the supermarket.
Well, there's something different between going to the supermarket and going and getting your own
sweep
food.
Was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and one of them, it's socially acceptable to be totally drunk. That's the difference.
Drunk. I think going and procuring your own food, hunting or fishing is a far more exhilarating, experience.
Yeah, you've never been to Trader Joe's on a Saturday.
No, I have not. I've been to Cracker Barrel. Is it similar?
No. It's the Angry Crackers at Trader Joe's on Saturday.
Yeah, just imagine the most vicious white liberal women
you
can
think
imagine.
You see an angry white woman on the internet. No, wait till you see him on Saturday fighting over that last loaf of sourdough crusty bread.
Quinoa.
Dylan, are you watching this World Cup thing?
No.
You're the one most likely.
No, I don't care about soccer at all.
Really? Oh shit! It's the World
I'm
Cup.
going to pay
Can I tell you
how USA does, but I don't watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you why Dylan doesn't care about soccer? Because he's from the first world.
Oh shit!
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Because we can
Nobody in the USA cares about soccer.
Dude,
soccer
is a
our
terrible
first world. People
sport.
in the UK are from the first world. They love soccer. That's their favorite sport.
Oh, are they? Are they Wes? Is
I don't
first
think
world
so.
anymore? I think they lost that status.
Maybe.
I'm working. I'm a construction
You have a
worker.
couple beheadings in the street, and all of a sudden, you're not a part of the first world.
That's right.
Correct.
I'm a construction worker.
That is the metric we use.
Back in the day when I'd start my drinking at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I'd go to the Irish pub and they'd have the soccer on there. They call it football over there.
I'm working at a stadium right now. We're doing a retrofit on a stadium, and there's 3 stadiums in Queens, and in the middle is a park, and it is just insane. Everybody's there to watch. They set up monitors. It's the World Cup watch party. So the other day it was just Mexican women in short shorts. It's like, I don't care if you don't like soccer, you're going to this park and watching this game. It is awesome. And then
are you doing Arthur Ashe Stadium?
What's that? Yeah, I'm at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one's under construction.
Very cool. That's where I'm working right now. Yeah.
Very neat.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. So this weekend, I don't know, American guys were there yesterday, I guess, just barbecuing.
Yeah, soccer's a game. Well, here, Sully, in case you didn't know, that whole Europeans and everyone else calling it football thing, that didn't actually start until the 19th century. it was soccer everywhere
Correct.
until the late 1800s, early 1900s, where a bunch of Brits decided to start calling it football.
Okay.
So
we call it
its true name is soccer, like we call
Holy
it.
crap. You know what
Thank
Doc
you.
is telling us? Doc is telling us that Europe colonized soccer.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Thank you, Cliff Clavin.
Yeah, you gotta put a little more Boston on it. Maybe feed the line to Sully. So hey, the soccer there. It wasn't
the soccer there, and it was originally invented by the Native Americans who used the heads of their vanquished foes instead of a soccer ball. There, Normie.
Sounds about right.
So, Dylan, did you notice that in this week's Fury of the Firestorm, that they are more fully incorporating elements of Doomsday Clock into DC canon?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The half out we got with KO. Now we're getting the Fury of the Firestorm. Doomsday Clock. Matt, you told me forever Doomsday Clock doesn't matter. Every time I talk about it's
That's
the
what
best
DC
event.
said. It was out of continuity.
No.
Now they're
Well,
including it in continuity.
Matters.
Was that exciting for you?
It was always in continuity to me.
Yeah,
It matters.
me too.
Yeah.
Well, that's headcanon. That's canon in real canon.
Not headcanon.
No.
Literally, the last big DC event had Doomsday Clock, and now this.
I gotta tell you, the comics that
good.
you're reading, the comics that are being printed, that's just some guy's corporate approved headcanon. Especially now.
Especially with DC. It seems like every couple of years they just change their mind anyway.
Well, that's true. They certainly have incorporated a lot of things that weren't meant to be in canon into canon, incorporated things that were supposed to be canon out of canon.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as
The
they
Killing
keep
Joke being the
putting,
biggest example.
as long as
Yeah.
they, wait, is that not canon anymore? Or
No, it is, but it wasn't supposed to be.
originally
Wasn't
supposed to be
yeah.
canon in the first
Gotcha.
place.
As
Yeah.
long as they keep kicking Tom King's stories out of canon, I'm fine.
So I'm
That's great.
confused now. So Barbara Gordon was Oracle, and because at one point she never was Oracle, and now she's Oracle
Now she
again.
definitely was Oracle.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's asking Dylan, what are the elements that Doomsday Clock brought in? They brought in Project Firestorm.
Yeah, the whole sort of super soldier type deal.
Yeah. And they also confirmed something that's been implied for a long time, that Stein was in fact a despicable person that was using Ronnie Raymond.
Yeah, huh? I don't know how to feel about that.
I didn't
Seriously.
particularly love it.
I didn't
It
either.
felt like they were doing the Professor X thing to Stein.
I think of Professor Martin Stein. I think of the Super Friends, the Superpowers team, from the early 80s. And, wasn't it Batman's voice, Juan Soleil, who did Mr. Martin Stein's voice as well? And just like, he's nice. He's a nice guy. He's trying to help Ronnie out. He's my dumb jock friend, and I got the brains here, and he's got the power.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
How do we put a new wrinkle on that, Sully?
Ooh,
We
hey.
go back and we tell you everything you do is wrong, and we just
Wrong.
Jason Aaron the whole thing.
They did the same thing. They did the same thing with the Chief in Doom Patrol. Professor.
Mhm.
It just seems like they're repeating themselves over. It would actually be shocking to have him be a nice professor, teacher.
I was trying to help.
Fighting Ronnie.
That's one of my
fairness-
complaints now, Sparrows. I think there has to be a time where storytelling in comic books innovates. And I don't think going back in the past and changing and retconning the history is innovative anymore. They're just doing that so they can tell the story that they want to tell rather
Absolutely.
than telling a story that makes sense for the character as they are.
100%.
No, that's absolutely right. They just they're just repeating themselves at this point. And the problem is because when we had the big boom of the people that created comics had life experiences and had read things and been places, and so they were able to take that and put that into their books. We're several generations removed now, and now we're kind of like in the multiplicity stage of comics, where it's a copy of a copy of a copy, and the people that are writing comics now
One's retarded.
have just barely surface skimmed comics. And so all they can do is kind of like repeat and then put their own issues and activism into the stories.
Yeah, and then you get like the Tom King, Alfred actually witness, Bruce at a very young age attempt to commit suicide, but never intervened. And it's kind of hard to think of Alfred like I did. Now that you've shown me that.
I can't think of the X-Men as heroes ever again after Krakoa. Like if those are the actual X-Men and they weren't just plant versions, then they are not heroes, and I will never read about them again, because the reason that I got into comics was I was interested in heroic fiction. I was interested in heroism. I was interested in characters that did the right thing, and even under really adverse circumstances, would make the tough choices. And you don't get that anymore because the writers don't understand heroism at its core.
Absolutely, great. If I didn't even know that, but if Alfred sat there, watched the little kid commit suicide, it was just like, oh, I got to put the kettle on.
Yeah. Hey, I inherit all this stuff once the kid's gone. It's kind of like Game of Thrones now.
Oh,
It's like Ramsay Bolton all over again. Gee.
man,
Sorry, I'm rereading all those books right now.
But basically, they always go in and like the mentor character. They always got to muddy the waters. Obviously with Professor X and the stuff he was doing with the Summers boys, Doc.
Yep. Yeah. It was common. Xavier did it, and especially with lying about Vulcan and keeping that from Scott and Alex. His like the fact that they brought up like years later, even though they dropped it like immediately, like Xavier's kind of lecherous behavior when it came to Jean.
He was thirsty. He was thirsty old man.
Yeah, like they did it whenever like they initially kind of had him as like, I don't know, a 20-something guy that was had been injured and paralyzed, and like he wasn't, but when they made him like a middle-aged man, because Xavier's age wasn't super clear in the early issues. He looked very young, but he was bald and he was paralyzed, but you weren't sure why. And so, and once they established him as middle-aged, they completely dropped any sort of non-parental affection that he had for Jean.
Mm-hmm.
Like completely. And then they brought it up years and years and years later as part of like Onslaught, and then Deadly Genesis, and even the Mike Carey era of X-Men, and they definitely brought it back up in Krakoa. So no, although I do think one of my favorite versions of that was the Henry Bendix one, because that was Warren Ellis just basically doing all the best parts of the Chief kind of going bad on Doom Patrol, but with Stormwatch. So,
what was it? Issue 3 when they had Xavier, like, oh, Gene, my feelings for you, but I'm confined to this wheelchair. I mean, so I think it was already established in the Kirby, but I mean, the worst part of Xavier is not the fact that he lusted and didn't do anything for a teenage girl. The worst part about him is every 5 years he turned into a villain and destroyed a city. I mean, he was Onslaught. Before that, in the Micronauts team up, he was the Entity and destroyed like a whole planet in the Microverse. It's just like, but
yeah,
I never liked Xavier. I always found him to be like, once you turn Renegade and destroy an entire civilization, there's no redeeming that character.
I don't know. Jean Grey is pretty amazing right now.
Yeah.
Well, they made it so that
she never
he was absolved. She never did that.
Was
As
it
a copy of her.
Cocoon in Florida?
Yeah.
No, Jamaica Bay, New York.
Yeah, Jamaica Bay.
Oh,
Yeah, that was never her.
silly.
She's absolved of all sins.
And just like Hal was absolved by he was being controlled by Parallax. He was infected by Parallax.
She used force healing.
Yeah, but Hal had to still lives with it. Batman still side eyes him and doesn't trust him because of that.
Oh, like Batman could have withstood Parallax. He's like, I had a plan for this thing I didn't know existed. I'm contingency man.
Batman destroyed the Batman Who Laughs, who was part Batman, part Joker, and part Dr. Manhattan. You probably take.
He didn't destroy him. Wonder Woman fought him in the sun.
Was that what it was?
Yes, what that was the last time we saw him. Dark Knight's
Oh, you're right.
Death
That
Metal.
was the Wonder Woman event.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah. It should have ended with the Batman Who Laughs miniseries, which is actually pretty good. But then they kept dragging on the Batman Who Laughs, and Dark Knight's Death Metal happened. It was terrible, and he combined with Dr. Manhattan, and him and Wonder Woman both became gigantic, like the end of a Power Rangers episode, and they fought in the sun, and it was It was terrible. It was really bad.
And then she died and went to Valhalla unexpectedly because she's a Greek goddess, but she ended up in a Norse underworld.
That's how proud the Norse were of her. They're like, you fought good. We want you here. You're on our team.
Well, AL, they were confused. Well, I'm glad that you got the flowers, and thank you very much to Sully for coordinating all that kind of stuff. Really appreciate it. But
thank you again, Sully.
You're welcome.
I think AL was talking about it last week in the Aficionados. Her father passed away, so we did send some flowers and stuff. But I'm glad you received them.
Yes.
Don't know why they're confused. We're good friends, aren't we?
Yeah. Why do we think? Because like these what? You're friends from the internet? Yes, we have friends
We're
on the
nice
internet.
enough to send flowers for a funeral. Yes.
It just tells me, Wes, we got to send AL some Comics Aficionados merch to sport so that she can just wear the Comics Aficionados drip, and then everyone will know the name.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Get a T-shirt.
Also, I said drip.
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
I'm hip with the lingo.
Shameless self-promotion.
But most of my best friends are on the internet these days. Besides my wife and kids.
Yeah, the only people I see anymore are on the internet.
That's what my wife says, when we move, where do you want to move? I said, I don't care. I'm just going to talk to people on the internet anyway. Wherever's cheap.
Somewhere with no income tax.
Yeah. Got to get out of New York, and I'll go to West Virginia.
Man, so you're escaping New York and Aaron is escaping LA.
Here we go.
We're doing 2 John Carpenter
Maybe you should
movies.
go to
Yeah,
Antarctica.
Aaron, maybe we'll meet in like Ohio or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
On Krakoa.
Move to Pittsburgh.
I'm just saying that Ohio is for lovers, so I do hope you guys meet up there.
Oh,
Virginia is for lovers.
Well,
That's right.
comic
Ohio is for
comic
something.
legend America's Tom Zoller is in Ohio, and he is the best looking man in Ohio. So when Sylvania and I were there, we were teasing him. We're like, "This is why you stay here, because you're a Cleveland 10. You go to LA,
Hey, there's a
that number
reason-
drops, but."
There's a reason I got laid so much when I lived in Cleveland. I'll put it that way.
Because you had all your own teeth.
Yes.
But if you go to Ohio, you can get spaghetti with chili on it.
If you
You
come
can
to
do that
Pittsburgh,
here.
you can get everything with
No.
fries on it.
You got to get the Skyline chili.
No, there is a famous place here
That's only Cincinnati.
out towards LA called Chili John's.
It's
It's like in the Pasadena area, and they will put that chili right there on your spaghetti.
They'll
It
probably
is,
put avocado slices on it too, and fucking California it up.
I don't think they have avocado, but avocado is very good for you, Wes. So I wouldn't.
I'm okay with them taxing my pension as long as I can get chili on my spaghetti. You guys are pretty. You guys are
Exactly.
Oh my God, we went from
That's-
sports aficionados to food aficionados again.
again. Oh
Hey,
no!
by the way, so if you're
Comment.
going to do that, just move to Kentucky, just on the other side of the border, because it's only Cincinnati anyway,
Mhm.
and then you could just drive into Cincinnati every time you want it. It's your cost of living.
This guy says you need to go to Arkansas, and I will stump for Arkansas. It is, just south of the border of the state I grew up in, but that was one of the very few states, if not the only state, that did not shut down a single day for the COVID
Oh, good. Props.
pandemic thing that happened. They just kept open the entire time.
Oh, you kid me? In New York, I had people yelling at me for me and my wife walking down the street, just taking a walk. Put your masks on. I'm like, I'm with my wife, New
In
York-
California, I had
Kansas.
somebody yell at me. I was driving by. I was in my car with the windows up, except it was cracked this much.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
some
gee.
lady on the sidewalk started screaming at me because I wasn't wearing a mask.
It's sometimes like the wisdom that we find in our fictions come out in real life, such as Empire Strikes Back and Yoda. And Yoda says to Luke, what will I find in there? Only what you bring with you.
Yep.
And just like John, I got accosted by someone on the bike path because I wasn't wearing my mask. And it was such a strange time then too. People were just coming out of the woodwork and I'm just like, I almost got some kind of baton or some kind of, a blackjack to be like, and I'm glad I did not have.
We're going to
one.
start braiding people for questioning
you-
your mask.
it's like
You said,
$10
I don't like it.
I got one better than you.
buy
I was
an
working-
ASP.
I was working in the
Yeah.
tunnels in Manhattan. I was 17 stories below Manhattan,
Mhm.
in like where the Morlocks live, by myself, working some power lines, and I hear steps, but you hear them for like 40 minutes, pop, 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 because and the guy comes in and goes, "You wearing a mask?" I'm like, "There's not another human being within like a mile of me. I am, the only person here. It takes me like 45 minutes to walk to the surface. I gotta
For
wear
a
it.
second, I thought you were saying you were in those Jew tunnels with the mattresses. I
Well,
thought that's what you were talking about. I was like, what?
My goodness.
This is
You
scary.
gotta read between
Like
the
I was
lines.
deep in the tunnels in New York.
So Sparrow, you're going to be at the Neurotic meetup. When does that happen?
That's in August.
In August. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
I plan to go to that. So
It's like August 8th or 9th, correct?
Mhm.
That's the same weekend as Fan Expo, and I already got my ticket with the Hobbits. And
well, I mean, there you go.
man, all right.
I mean,
go.
like,
would
if you
totally love to go.
messaged Gary right now and said I was going to come to your event, but I'll be with the Hobbits, he'd be like, "Well, go with God,
Okay.
my son. Go with God, my son."
I had a great moment with Gary last year at the Fan Expo Dallas because he's a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel fan.
Mhm.
So I got my Angel DVD copy like signed by David Borneas, James Marsters, Spike, and Darla, Julie Benz. And I'm like, we just had this moment like, hey, look at this, and he's like, oh, cool.
No, the thing that
Good
people
guy.
don't realize, I mean, the thing that the haters they don't want to realize it, but that they don't realize about Gary is just how welcoming he and Melissa, his wife, are,
Mhm.
and how generous they are with their time, which is very limited because they're very busy. But they will take the time to get to know you and to have a conversation with you, and you see the way that they interact with the fans, and it's just really a great tight knit. I hate to use the word community, but let's say
Fellowship, one could say.
yes, a fellowship is a much better term.
Hey, anyone out there that's actually seen my channel, I do a gratitude show, and I got the idea of gratitude through Gary Beekler, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have said to him, looked him in the eye, held his hand, and shook his hand, and be like, "Thank you for gratitude. You changed my life," and I bet you he hears that a lot. But I'm like, just like this guy over this internet thing, he was able to to make an impact like that. On me alone, not anyone else out there. There's thousands of us. Cheers.
Well, very nice. Today's Comics Aficionados live stream is actually sponsored. We have a comic book coming out. It's associated with Aaron. We'll talk about it here in a second, but let's play this trailer.
Previously, monsters became mankind's last line of defense, led by an ancient vampire, a fragile alliance built on distrust, a vigilante turned something darker, a cop fighting the beast within, a cursed priest bound to a demon, a child trapped in a monster's body. But now, something ancient has surfaced. The Tome of Leviathan, a book of apocalyptic power that no human can understand. Except one, Dr. Herbert West. Cold, methodical, obsessed with conquering death. First, he brought the dead back. Then, he learned to control them. Now, with the tome, he won't just raise the dead, he'll command them. Dinosaurs, corpses, monsters, everything that's ever died will fight for him. And if that wasn't enough, something inside the team is breaking. If they fail, the world won't survive.
Very nice, Sparrow. So you and Drew are going to be launching this some bitch here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out time wise because 3 and 4 of Unholy Nightmare are done, and so this is the campaign for 3, but 4 is already finished. So we've really gotten ahead of production on that, and it's really going to be a blast.
Oh, very nice, dude.
We're getting
and
good
you
reviews.
Think that dinosaur bones are a conspiracy?
No, I don't think that.
I thought you told me that.
I like to tell people that because then they get all upset, and you can kind of like see how you break their worldview by having an opinion that they can't reconcile. But no, I believe in dinosaurs. In fact, I've often said on this show, if you have a museum, and I don't care what kind of museum it is, and it doesn't have a dinosaur exhibit, your museum is bullshit. You're like, oh, this is the train museum. And I'm like, yeah, where's the dinosaurs? And they're like, this is a museum for trains. And I'm like, I'm sure some trains have, driven over buried dinosaurs. I'm sure when they were, building the rail yards, they dug up some dinosaurs. Where are those bones? Show them to me.
The coal for the steam engines, those are dinosaurs too. Wow.
Well, it turns out that was actually a lie that we were told, the whole fossil
Yep.
fuse thing.
Yeah.
That's been completely
that was
disproven.
it was John Rockefeller that wanted to try to make a rather abundant resource feel scarce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much like diamonds. One man corners the market and then tells a tale. You need
Much
to buy
like
one of these
everything
shiny things to tell your girl that you want to marry her.
I was
It's the
just going to
only
say, much
way.
like everything else that John Rockefeller believed. Everything he believed was bullshit, including global warming and that the world can live in unity.
I don't think he believed any of that stuff. He just pushed it because he knew he could monetize it.
Yeah, he could monetize it.
Well, I mean, John Rockefeller right now is in hell having a pineapple shoved up his ass the wrong way. So, I mean, it all works out in the
Is
end.
the right way to shove a pineapple up someone's ass?
Well, I mean, I guess the more aggressive side, I should say.
Sideways.
Well, we don't like the Wright brothers?
What about the Wright brothers? What?
I thought John's Longbuck said the Wright brothers. I was like,
No, I said there's a right way to shove a pineapple up.
Oh.
I like
I was
the
like, the Wright brothers? Like,
I
this
guess
is a great article 3 days before the Wright brothers had their maiden flight, Sully. They had an
All right,
article in, I think, the New York Times claiming that air flight was a possibility, but it was going to take another 100 years because they had thrown so many resources at actually making a flying machine, and with all the top minds have been unsuccessful. And then 3 days later, it actually happened.
Wes, I think you're trying to change the subject away from the fact that we've established that you might be, in the beginning stages of dementia, but also your hearing is going.
What?
He just completely spaced out and only heard the word right. It was like,
Right.
Wright brothers, what
All
are
right, brothers, what are you guys? I used to babysit them.
What are you guys talking about?
You went from the right way to insert a pineapple somewhere to the Wright brothers.
He said about the Wright brothers. Like, Wright brothers? Why are we
Wright
trashing those
brothers?
guys? Those
He
guys
said
are-
nothing about the Wright brothers.
We're talking smack on the guys. They're
Les is
amazing.
like, I'll tell you something about the Wright brothers.
Exactly.
They're the reason why Zeppelins are still here.
Wes, you need a cue behind you that changes your background to like the fluorescent colors, and it starts playing "What's Going On."
It happens. There's so many people talking at the same time. I'm sure I'm not the only one that heard Wright brothers in there.
I think you're the
I'm
only
pretty sure you
person.
are.
Tell us in the chat if you heard Wright brothers.
I was thinking
Somebody's
about the
coming to my
wrong
defense.
ways.
It's
to
probably AL.
use a
She probably
pineapple.
heard that.
Everybody,
Yeah,
let's
do.
That's
AL's
why
so
you-
sweet. She'll defend you. She didn't hear Wright brothers, but she'll be like, I can see it.
What about the wrong brothers? Yeah.
My goodness.
I mean, you got the Zong brothers out there drawing some great covers for the Fun Time Go books.
So, John, while we are waiting for Unholy Nightmare number 3 to launch, and you should definitely sign up right now because they do have exclusive, like, first 48-hour specials that you won't be able to get after the initial launch of it. You have a book right now available for people?
Yes, I've shared the link now. I've been hearing from a lot of online people that it takes forever to make a comic book. So I challenged myself to make a comic as fast as possible. And my goal was to have it in your hands by Christmas. Turns out that the art is completely done. It's the last pages are being colored right now. And then, would it take a couple of days to get it lettered? and I could start shipping it. But this is Heroic Tales Christmas special. As you can tell, I really like Christmas. Just looking at me, everybody says I look like Santa Claus or whatever. So I wanted to make a Christmas special. So I have a character called King Fu. He's the world's greatest martial artist and Elvis impersonator. And he was a Marine in the 90s. So they found out that there's a 2-hour window where he could rescue a lost Vietnam vet. So it happens to be on Christmas. So he's going to rescue it's called Blue Christmas. You'll see why when you read the comic. So King Fu, a 16-page story. I'll show you the art in a minute. And then the backup story is the patriarch, who's personal friends with Santa Claus, shares a bit of Christmas magic. He teaches us the actual proper way to celebrate Christmas to guarantee that Santa Claus will come to your house. So this is, a flip book. So both covers, $10. It 2 covers, 2 great characters, great art. So this is Andres Esparza. My colorist Oscar is an art teacher, and one of his students, he sent out samples, and I just loved it. So he's doing the Christmas special. I tried him out for 1 page, and I was just like, do the whole thing. This is Renzo. Aaron knows Renzo.
I know Renzo.
This every time I show Renzo's art, I say this is the best art of his career. But Aaron will back you up. He's getting better and better and better with every page. So This is Blue Christmas King Fu, and like I said, this is done. But what this is Andres. This is the interior art by Andres. I just think he's so good. This is the page I had him try out for, and I was like, do the whole thing. So this is a domestic story. He goes home, spends Christmas with his family, and we learn about Christmas magic. But check out this art by Renzo. And even more importantly, check out this color by Oscar. It is so good. Oscar's coloring your book too, right, Aaron?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's so good. I just love this panel of the camping over here. It's set in the mountains of Laos, so there's a lot of green. So I was a little bit worried, but look at the subtleties he does. King Fu has a green costume, and the Marines. Oh my God! But this is done. I'm all ready to. Well, I'm not ready to ship yet. Yeah, obviously, I still got 1 more page to color. But this is 2 Christmas stories, 1 book, and I'm actually going to sit on it, ship it in November. You will have this by Christmas, guaranteed. And here's some of my swag is already here. My Mary Sue T-shirt, Patriarch T-shirt, the King Fu hoodie with the Tennessee Dragons symbol on the back, a bundle of all 3 of my comics. And this is something I got to show you. I'm sure Aaron will appreciate this. So this is goofed on the picture of Elvis with Nixon. So this is King Fu with your face here. So you send us an image. Renzo will draw this. So this is an original artwork that you'll get. So Renzo will draw them. He'll start drawing them as soon as you pay. Ship them to me, and I'll ship them to you flat with your comic. So King Fu with your character, with your face, your wife, your kids, whatever you want. Renzo will draw original artwork for you. I'm so excited for this tier. I think it's so great. So right now it's available on Fund My Comic. So you can go to Fund My Comic, Heroic Tales Christmas Special, pick it up. I'm going to be launching in July. I'm going to do a Christmas in July on Kickstarter. I'm not going to have any difference. I wanted to do a streamlined campaign, so it's going to be basically the same thing imported over Kickstarter. So I don't know. I love this. It's the artwork is amazing. What else?
It looks dope.
Yeah.
But hey, by the way, I already know how you can guarantee Santa shows up at your house on Christmas.
Yeah.
How's that?
Kidnap Mrs. Claus.
Nice.
Milk and cookies. That's the standard.
Milk and cookies is part of it. You got to have all of it's a ritual. It's like a magic spell. You need all the components to cast the spell.
And John, you're already doing better than Doctor Who. I mean, no Christmas special there.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah,
Very
man.
cool.
It looks dope.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you're absolutely right. Renzo's art improves every single page that he turns in. Like he'll show me something. He's like, "Look what I just did for John," and I'm like, "Oh man, that's crazy." I'm like, "Wish that was in my book." And then he'll like give me a page for me, and I'm like, "Oh man, that's even better," And then it's like, and then he trumps it again with the next page for you.
It's not a joke. It's better and better with each page. Like I get excited when he sends me a page. He's so good.
And
Okay.
I
I've
love
stopped
that-
telling him. I've stopped telling him that he can pull back. Like, I'm like, you don't have to draw every single window and every single building. And it's like, no, he's gonna do it. He's a madman.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
John, how many-
We're making a project for later on, and I just
Uh-huh.
wanted to test out something. And he drew so many details. I was like, I felt bad for him.
Hmm.
You
How
know,
many pages is it?
the 16-page King Fu story, a 6-page Christmas magic story, a letters
Uh-huh.
page. So it's a 24-page book.
Okay.
10, 2 stories, complete stories. You know, if you buy my comics long term, you'll see that this is a seed for a lot of future stories. But
Uh-huh.
you don't need anything else, which is a
I gotta-
simple thing to say.
As a comics fan who loves the floppy, the medium of the floppy itself, I love a flip book. I think that takes complete advantage of the medium itself. That you just midway you turn the page, you turn the book upside down.
Correct.
Like Local Man was like that. Like
Yes,
Jeff
that's the
Lemire did a
inspiration.
book called Trillium that was like that. I love that it's just a simple conceit. Just flip the book over. There's another story.
It's funny that you said Local Man, because that was the inspiration for this. Because I don't know. Everybody does the variant covers, and people are telling me I'm crazy for not capitalizing on it. But I feel guilty just putting out the same book with a different cover and asking people to buy the same exact thing again. But at the same time, I'm like, I got 2 stories, and they both deserve a cover. And, you know, so I'm like, all right, flip book. So, you know, am I crazy for not cash grabbing people? I don't know. That's up for you guys to decide. But I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
All right, well, let's hear for the Papals. We've got Jag Live. All of comics are headcanon at this point. Well, that's not true. Todd's still writing Spawn. It's the originator,
Yeah.
right?
Eric
Not all
Larson
of
is still
comics.
technically writing Savage Dragon, although if that is his head canon, I believe his laptop needs checked.
But do you think that's where we are, Sparrow? As a writer and editor, all this stuff is just unofficial headcanon?
I mean, there's so many bad writers now in the big 2 universes that you almost have to isolate yourself to a headcanon. You have to say, like, these writers are the writers that I think are shaping the actual DC universe for me, and I'm leaving all of this behind. More with Marvel than DC, because there are more good books at DC right now. But it used to be that having a shared universe was what made these things exciting. And now a shared universe is actually a detriment to your better writers, because it's like you have to take these stories. You know, it's like, can you imagine the fact that, we have to have, the current Superman book in the same continuity as Tom King's Wonder Woman? I don't want that. I don't want anything Tom King in continuity. So you got to kind of like excise it out. That's kind of how you have to
compartmentalize the storytelling. In his
Yeah, exactly. You have to decide what counts for you. You have to go to the buffet. So it's the same thing, like, when we talk about Star Wars, I said, like, you can still like Star Wars, but you got to go to the buffet. You got to say, like, I like the original trilogy. Maybe you like the prequels. You like the expanded universe, but maybe not these couple of Marvel comics that had Jackson in them because the Bugs Bunny rabbit was too goofy for you. You just kind of like pick and choose. Or, you imagine in your head that Jackson is a cooler looking big rabbit alien. There's just different ways that
I don't want to
you
hear
kind of
any
have to do it.
dissing on Jackson. All right.
No, I actually like Jackson. I bought the figure, and I 3D sculpted a more cartoonish head to put on it because I was like, let's make this as accurate as possible.
I agree with you. Look at the X-Men Krakatoa as an example. Why can't I think of the actual writer, the guy who started it all?
Hickman.
Yeah, Hickman. Hickman started it all. He's a good writer. I kind of trust him. But then they went off to all of these other people who have no business, writing, and Hickman has to be true to all that. I wonder if that kind of ran him off or what. But like,
and the worst part is he picked almost all of them.
Did he pick them?
Yeah,
Or
all
was it
the
kinda like-
jabronis. He's the worst talent evaluator in comic books. Like
I didn't know he picked them. That changes a lot. All right.
But then it came back to bite him because they all stabbed him in the back in the Slack and were like, no, we want to keep doing this.
Right.
And he was like, no, it's time to move on to part 2 of the story. And they're
Okay,
like,
and-
no.
Okay, I know we're going to get to it a little later, but I read Avengers Armageddon #1 to prepare for the show. And it's hard for me. My only big problem with it, it's hard for me to imagine that you have a kind of a built-in Hulk story, but how is this going on while Infernal Hulk is still going on? It seems like, and that got ignored too with Hickman's Imperial, because you had Hulk in that, as a major player, Bruce Banner Hulk, and that just didn't fit in what was what Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing on the Hulk's own title itself. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, do these people talk to each other in the office? You know, geez, no.
But it says,
No.
does it show where Marvel storyline creative is at, where they had to borrow a season story from a hero shooter to be an event? Hello, Queen of Black.
Yeah.
What's the
I mean, look, all the
season
creativity,
story
all of the
from a hero shooter? I'm assuming that's a video game, Dylan.
Assuming Marvel Rivals, I guess.
it's Marvel Rivals. Yeah, they were doing the Queen in Black, which was, you know, Hela, and they.
Oh yeah, they had that little thingy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, where's the innovation coming from? The innovation is coming from the comic shop, or from the game developers. Where are the good costume designs and good character designs coming from? That's where they're coming from. The Luna Snow figure, as soon as they put it up for pre-order in the Spider-Man 2-pack, sold out. The Marvel Rivals Punisher, same. Like the Moon Knight, those designs went crazy. I mean, they'll come out and then there'll be additional stock, but the pre-sales all immediately sold out that first day.
Yeah. Not excited for Queen in Black, but it also tells you that maybe Avengers Armageddon isn't the most impactful thing, because you do have Queen in Black happen at the same time. You do have DNX launching about the same time. You've got you got the Hulk War coming.
Hulk
right
War coming any minute now. Yeah.
Yeah. How could it be all that impactful if you need to have all this other stuff happening?
And now you have all this. Now you have all this other. You have a whole team of Hulks now with Thaddeus Ross, which is like, you know,
nothing makes a superhero unique like having a whole team of copycats.
Yeah, no shit. Marvel is like leading the league in those the stupid mashup stuff. I swear, it's been like a trend with Marvel Comics for like 3 years. I read a shitload of Marvel Comics, and it's like, oh wow, look, another mashup. Oh great! It's like
all Marvel has done for the last like decade and a half is just clones of their own characters that are just palette swap, and gender swap. They have reduced every single unique character to just a variant.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeff,
at the risk of sounding like the old man with the beard, which I am, I'm sure all 6 of us were little kids wanting to draw comics, wanting to write comics, playing comic books, playing with our action figures, making up stories. And now we got people making and writing comics that are like, they're business people. Who knows? Were they playing toys? I don't know. Maybe they were playing video games, but they weren't comic book fans growing up. And it makes a difference. Like Roy Thomas lifestyle comic book people are gone. And as soon as the comics aren't profitable, they're going to move on to whatever. I know. Get off my lawn. What do you want me to say?
Well, then he wants to know, how do you feel about Absolute Catwoman #1? I thought it was a 7 out of 10. Dylan, I don't think that score is unreasonable. I'm not quite that high on it, but I do think the Bengal art was really, really good.
I would agree with that 7 out of 10. I was surprised. I was not expecting this book to be very good at all, because I thought Absolute Catwoman in Absolute Batman was like one of the least interesting additions when she showed up. But in this, I had fun with it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a 7 out of 10. It wasn't like the greatest comic I've ever read, but I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked it.
I heard they're coming out with a new line, the Adequate line, and they're going to have adequate Batman, adequate Superman, adequate, just they're fine. No great shakes. At this point, I don't care about the variants of all the characters. Just make a good Batman comic,
Okay. Well, this guy's asking specifically about this comic book. Sully, did you get to read Absolute Catwoman?
I did not. I skipped that one this week, but I did read 2 other DC books, and I paid cash for them.
Well, very nice. Yes. So I thought it was fine, better than I expected. Really enjoyed the Bengal art. Is the way I would say it.
Bengal's always great as an artist.
Yeah, and he fits right into the Absolute line with the way that aesthetically it kind of looks. But he says, the Unholy Nightmare video, VA sounded like Wes doing his best Kylo Ren impersonation.
Ooh,
that is my
massive
voice.
Kylo
I wasn't
that's good.
going for Kylo Ren. I was going for like horror or whatever, but I guess I would have preferred you to say like the Bane impression, because I do like Tom Hardy's Bane.
I do too.
Wes, do me a favor. Say, I know what I have to do, but I don't know what I have the strength for. No, do your Kylo Ren voice. Come on.
That wasn't my voice. I didn't come up with that voice. I just recorded it, and then I used some filters to adjust the
Mhm.
the tone and quality of the voice to be more spooky and have a little echo into it.
When Kylo Ren offers his hand to Rey for the second time, do you think she'll take it?
I don't know. Are you a Raylo?
No, I'm.
Ooh.
There's so he's been on Saturday Night Live a couple times, and they do
Yeah.
Undercover Boss with Kylo
Oh,
Ren.
that's a funny
Oh,
one. That's a good
yes.
bit.
That's funny.
That was the best thing to come out of the movie. You're right.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah,
it was.
it's like the only good thing to come out of the movie, really.
Agree.
Man, Grizz, he said that was my bedroom voice.
I don't know. I don't think you could have pulled your wife doing that voice.
Maybe. I was born in the dark. Yes. One of the Bane voice. That's what I should have went for. Insazin 3365 took a 25-year break from comics, and I'm looking at X-Men Age of Apocalypse Omnibus that comes out at the end of July. Doc, would you recommend that buy? Uh-oh, Doc is
Is he
choking
in
down
Flavor
a huge-
Country?
I'll step
Let's
in.
go
I'll
over
step in for
Aaron.
Doc.
He's an X-Men guy.
Yeah. I would say if it's the original Age of Apocalypse,
Yes.
the very first one, because there've been others, because they just repeat themselves.
Age
If it's
of
the original,
Revelations.
absolutely pick it up. That is a fun read. You get gorgeous Joe Madera art on the main book. It's probably the last time we're gonna see Holocaust, in all of his evil glory, which was just a great design and like a character that I was like, man, that character looks
Holocaust
cool.
return in X-Men X-Men of Apocalypse this week. Or last week.
Yeah.
Do they still call him Holocaust, or did they
Mhm.
nerf that? Is he
There's
Nemesis?
Holocaust in this book. Yeah.
Oh,
Call
well,
him
all right.
Holocaust.
Yeah. They restored that. That's interesting.
The same
That was
design,
the
or
coolest moment of the book.
is it the same design?
Yeah.
How cool!
And it's got Simone DeMeo, who's as close as you're going to get to Joe Mad in modern comics.
Yeah, Simone's good.
Yeah, it looked good. Definitely recommend that. Who was cracking a fucking silver bullet?
Yeah. Who's drinking so early in the morning there? Is it a Miller
love it.
Light?
Freshie.
Diet Coke. Hate
Oh,
to.
okay. You know what we call them?
Got some Milwaukee's Best Light or something good like that.
I was
Mad
hoping
Light?
I was hoping for a salty highball. You know what a salty highball is? It's a warm Miller Lite over ice. You pour it in a highball glass and you just drink it.
No.
I thought John was cracking open the booze. I thought he was like,
No,
I
no,
gotta write some heroic tales later, and Daddy needs his creativity.
I know
juice."
I just ruined the illusion. But Wes sent me a message before I even got to make my coffee, so I had to grab it.
Not bad. I remember going to the theater in high school and like coughing as you're like cracking your tall boys. Hoping nobody would notice. All right, Comics Exposed. Can someone please teach John how to properly say Xavier? It scratches my brain the way he's saying it. Stop. How do you
What,
say Xavier, John?
With Javier?
Xavier.
The Javier?
I used to say Xavier until I dated a girl who was from Mexico, and her next door neighbor was Javier. So I just kind of say Xavier, now. That's the way he told me to say his name.
There's an
Yeah,
affectation.
that's not how you say Xavier, like Professor X's name.
So how do you say, I don't know. I used to say Xavier growing up.
What if you lived next to a guy named Jesus? Would you stop calling him Jesus Christ? You
I
just
don't
call
know.
him
It's just
Jesus?
I got used to calling him.
Jesus
now I
Cristo.
say it without thinking.
Yeah, I like his brother Monte Cristo too.
Oh, he makes a good sandwich.
I
Yeah.
count on him.
I didn't even notice it, John. Apparently somebody got it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
noticed it, but I just thought it was a flub. I was like,
I get called on it all the time on my channel, and I don't realize I'm saying it. And then when I think about saying it, it sounds weird. So
no, but
I
look,
mean-
it's good. It's good. Mispronounce things, and then people like, so you can do a whole video and you
Javier
get everything
Woods?
right, and people are like, all right, fine.
Well-
But if you mispronounce something, people will jump in the comments to tell you that you're wrong, and that's engagement.
yeah,
That is engagement bait. Absolutely. If you say
absolutely.
something-
That's what happens. It got you $5.
What was that?
Neil Gaiman book he did. Was it like 1601 where he set the Marvel universe in the past? And there was there was Dr. Carlos Javier, and that was Charles Xavier, and like that multiverse. Was it 1602? Was that the
Yeah,
name of it?
1602. That was yeah.
I love that book. That was really good shit.
There you go. It's not his fault. He's stupid.
You also said Krakatoa, which is a real place
He
instead
did
of
say
Krakoa.
Krakatoa.
Just before,
Krakatoa.
I'm not. I don't have any interest in correcting you necessarily, but the chat will. So,
But
let's
you just
get out
did
of the way.
it. So
Let's just get it out of the way, so we don't. nobody has to spend $5 to tell us that. John,
But it's
you're
nice.
wrong.
And thank
Federico
you,
de la Casa says, I know guys who read only stories of the last 10 years and think that that is canon of good writing. If you're used to mediocrity, you will love it.
exactly the same.
I do
deal
think
with-
there's a lot of people settling. Like, I feel like Sully this week is 100% settling on Avengers Armageddon.
Wow.
Because he's been having to read the X-Men line. His
Mhm.
expectations of what a comic book should be for a major event launch have declined to such a degree that he'll literally just take anything that isn't completely horrible.
That you got a point there, and I wish you would wear a hat to cover it. But I thought the art was really good in Avengers Armageddon #1. The inciting incident as issue 1, it gets your attention. It hits the ground running.
It's so running when we're talking to the UN and having people discuss the implications of what might happen in the next issue.
You know, I guess I'm a Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross fan as the Red Hulk. I really liked what I really liked what Ben Percy did in that previous one, and I didn't mind this book one bit. Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Settling for mediocrity is how we.
But
everybody like got excited for the Mandalorian, right? Like
Right.
none of us were immune. We'd gotten such shitty Star Wars with the sequels that like the Mandalorian came out and just mildly competent was enough to like engage everybody. Like that's how low the bar had fallen.
Right, exactly. You know,
It might be why I like the original Mortal Kombat reboot so much. Look, they could have screwed this up way worse than they did.
That's actually fair. I mean, now we watch things, and I think same with Masters of the Universe. You're like, well, I've seen far worse with this property, and this nails a lot of things. So you know, if it got 7 out of 10 things right, I guess that's where we're at.
That's the way I felt with the new Fantastic Four movie. It was like Stockholm syndrome. I'm like,
Oh,
wow,
geez.
it kind of looks cool. It looks like
you're gonna
retro.
wind Wes up with that. Come on.
No, Wes loves that movie. That's like his favorite movie.
That's an oversell of
Like that's Citizen Kane.
in a summer of very ordinary, not good films last year, it stood head and tails above Superman, but underneath Thunderbolts. Not exactly giant praise on my part.
What are you talking about? You went out and got a chest tattoo of the team.
My wife,
You literally have merch of it.
you got
and
Pedro
you brought it up
Pascal.
every episode talking about how
You got
good it
Pedro
was.
Pascal like right
You can't
in the middle of
retcon your
chest.
feelings about the movie.
I think it was a poorly cast film that looked like felt like a Fantastic Four movie that probably could have been better,
Yes.
but was better than Superman.
I liked it because of the way it looked, even though every cast member was
I
poorly.
think the
chosen.
cast is far from the worst part of that movie. I think the fact that it nosedives like 45 minutes in is the problem with that movie.
Yeah.
I like that Human Torch
And the-
guy. I loved him in Stranger Things, but geez, talk about a guy who just did
Dude,
not.
that-
belong.
When Sue dies and they show his face crying, and it is just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know how that got put to screen. That was insane. He looked nuts when he was crying.
If you think about the fact that maybe that was the best take, and that's why it made it in.
And he's a good actor too. I just don't know what happened. Like that was I don't know.
Maybe it's like Marion Cotillard, like when she saw her death scene in The Dark Knight Rises, she was like, "That was the take that they took. That was the take that was chosen. My worst take."
I don't know. I'll still take that scene over Supergirl calling Superman a bitch.
Wow, the thing that happened the last 10 seconds between cousins. Superman was so much better than Fantastic Four. It's not even close.
I disagree with that one, but I don't think Superman
Hey,
or
look,
Fantastic Four were particularly great.
I'm Galactus. Oh, power cosmic! I can't stop myself from being pushed back.
I'm Lex Luthor. I'm going to use a retard.
Let
as
me
like a
take the
fucking
guy
remote
that's
control
known for
character.
stretching. You know, I'm going to beat the guys known for stretching. I'm going to stretch him. Oh, wow. That's how
To his
Mr. Fantastic.
limits.
But you know what? It was the Pedro Pascal casting that was the issue, not the writing
No,
that
I
had the
think that was
stretching
a
guy
major
get
issue.
stretched.
It's not my fault.
That was
Thunderbolts is
Pedro's
better
fault.
than both of them. How's that?
I just
Thunderbolts wasn't bad.
I'll go with you on that journey. I enjoyed
and
Thunderbolts
the Thing's
more,
girlfriend. I can't remember the character's name. Natasha. What was she even in
Alicia.
the movie for? What did she do? They could have taken her out
It
of
felt
the
so clear that they cut the Thing's entire side plot and like kept 30 seconds of it. It's
Yeah.
like there's supposed to be way more of this here. It's like, oh, he's going to like a synagogue. Okay. Oh, well, that we saw that for like 10 seconds. I don't know why.
But I did think
Thank
the
you.
casting of Liam Gray as the Mole Man was inspired.
I mean, if he would have been more Mole Man, I would have liked it. If he was
I'm
a little
joking.
dirtier, a little shabbier, like might have been okay.
Probably
I didn't
need
even
the
see
moment.
But how do you have John Malkovich as the Red Ghost, and you go, that's what we should cut?
Yeah.
That was a disappointing. I loved him in Rounders.
Plus, Super Apes. You're telling me you don't
money.
want to see the Red Ghost Super Apes on screen? That's
Yeah.
hilarious. That's amazing.
I wonder if that had to do with just like the whole, fighting, over Chicken Kiev over, on that side of the world, because Red Ghost was a Soviet era character. So I wonder if
Now Wes is thinking why the chicken crossed the road. And we're gonna get on a whole nother side.
No.
plot.
No, but Sully, according to Sully, we did get the Super Apes in Ad Astra.
I'm going to dip out for a few minutes and go read Avengers Armageddon so that I can speak intelligently on this.
oh
subject.
my goodness.
I'll be back.
Man, he's
Make
pulling
sure
a fucking Jim. He's not coming back. Jim had to take a little break last week and never came back.
I'll be back.
Well, we thought he fell down the stairs again.
Jim's being haunted, so we give him a pass.
No. Actually, what happened? I think one of his children got into a wreck. His
Uh-huh.
wife called him upstairs and he
Okay.
didn't know, and she forced him to go to the scene to help him out as his son begged them to leave. Could you please not be here right now? I don't need your help.
This is one of those nothing bad had happened to Jim personally in a while, so it went to his son. His son had to get in a car wreck.
It's the
Really,
legacy
it was just
power.
a fender bender. It wasn't like anything too bad, but you know how moms are. They always overreact to everything.
Uh-huh.
HH and the fam over at Sigma Comics. Shout out to the Thinking Critical team from Heroes Con Charlotte. Calico Unwanted Men now available on our site. Support indie comics and Thinking Critical.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Have
Go to
fun.
the official Sigma Comics website and get you a copy
Awesome.
today.
Say hi to Vaughn and Irene from us, please.
Yeah.
Oh, they're also at Heroes Con?
Yeah.
Very cool. North Kakalaki.
Vaughn's been on the road. He's like he's doing some road trip and he's sharing his videos from like Phoenix and going to see the desert and stuff. It's pretty cool. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
The Web Slinger, throwing a little shade here. Wes probably thinks Fantastic Four First Steps was the most gracious thing to happen to him since his son was born. No.
Yep.
Oh.
No,
Well, sounds about right.
Oh.
I don't think that it's not a good movie. It's just better than Superman is the only caveat. The most gracious thing to happen to me in film form, I guess, since my last son was born, 'cause I have 3 of them.
That's why I like Jurassic World, because it's not as loud as Jurassic Park.
I think it's probably Project Hail Mary. I really enjoy the film. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think there are things that they could do to make it better, but just as like a charming, enjoyable, really nice experience, which you don't get in movies very often, was absolutely amazeballs. Really enjoy it. I went back and watched it a second time, just as enjoyable as the first time. How's that?
It is good.
Can we forgive me now for saying that Fantastic Four Steps isn't First Steps isn't dog shit? Because it's not.
Fantastic Four Steps. Fantastic Four Steps. Fantastic Four Skin.
Wow, that really covers
Whatever.
Well, that's the Wonder Girl Cup. Or the Wonder Girl
that. Oh my gosh. The Wonder Girl Cup. Holy shit. I know everyone's seeing foreskins, but I'm seeing Georgia O'Keeffe on that. If you know your art history. It looks very Yonic and on Ink Seal. The blossoming flowers.
Have you noticed this Dylan? That it appears this like summer movie like season is like the coolest one we've had in like 4 or 5 years.
I don't know about that. Why
It's
do
like
you?
cool shit coming out where I kind of expected Superman to be kind of what it was. I wasn't expecting much out of Fantastic Four. It was better than I expected. Expecting nothing out of Thunderbolts. It was whatever. But it feels like there's just kind of like a lot of cool stuff.
I mean, we've got like the Odyssey coming out, but what else are you super excited for this summer?
Fuck that.
Spider-Man. I'm actually
Yeah,
I'm
Spider-Man's
excited for
pretty
Spider-Man.
great.
I love those Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. They won me over. I thought I saw Homecoming after I saw Far From Home, and it just
I wanted to see He-Man. I want to see Mortal Kombat 2 still, which I haven't got to check out. There's been some pretty good stuff coming out. It feels like.
I don't know if I'd say any more than any other year.
Huh.
Doesn't
Maybe
feel
I'm
elevated to me.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's talk about elevating, because we did have an enormous week of debuts in comic books. None more important than Avengers Armageddon. We have been promised, Doc, that before Avengers Armageddon, there's going to be a pre-universe, and then after, there's going to be a post-universe, implying that the events are going to be of such an enormous magnitude that everybody must read the book to fully understand just the way the Marvel Universe is broken. Based on the first issue, I think they might have oversold this a little bit.
Dude, they oversell it for every fucking event. We're going to be lucky if this series doesn't retcon itself by the end, like they've done for like the last 3 events. Remember Axe Judgment Spray? It retcons itself by the end. What was the Hellfire Gala? It basically retcons itself by the end. What was the one?
It's always nice when a piece of shit like take cares itself by the end, you know?
Yeah, the trash takes itself
Yeah.
out. And we're gonna be lucky if it's not utterly forgettable by the end of itself. I mean, it's already pretty forgettable in the fact that they're doing 4 other events at the same time. They have very little faith.
What event? The only one I can think of is Civil War. Is the only event from Marvel or DC that has any lasting significance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of them come and go.
Well, Dark Reign or Siege had a decent amount with all the Dark Reign stuff. Or not Siege, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I love the Dark
Secret
Reign
Invasion had all the Dark Reign stuff.
I love Dark Avengers. That was fun.
Infinite Crisis had some lasting effects for a bit.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. And but for the most part, no, none of them really do. And the fact that they're trying to sell us this hard just tells me that there's absolutely nothing that's going to carry on. It's almost that like comic marketing, the more they market as nothing will ever be the same afterwards, the more everything is exactly the same afterwards. And they need to sell you so hard because there's nothing there in the content and the repercussions to actually sell you while it's going on. They're doing this thing. All they're doing is giving us 10 more variants of the exact same characters we already have, but with new names. That's the whole point of this entire event, just to make more legacy
Marvel
characters.
Yeah.
Well, it's marketing. Yeah. Spider-Man sells, so let's make more Spider-Man.
Yeah, except for instead of let's sell Spider-Man more, let's make 14 variants of Spider-Man.
Right.
And this is
I didn't say it was good marketing. I just said that's just the way to make it.
I mean, Spider-Man did really well when you sold him 4 times a fucking month instead of trying to sell 4 not Spider-Man Spider people 12 times a month. You could get away with selling Peter Parker 4 times. Same with Clark Kent. Same with Batman. You don't need 19 variants of them.
Right.
But no, I think that there's a direct. I feel like this is going to be another one of Doc's axioms, that the more a comic publisher tells you nothing will ever be the same, the more it's going to be exactly the same. Like, the more utterly irrelevant the event will be by the time it's done. It's a long-standing just joke at this point, and nothing will ever be the same. Well, like, we all know that that's not the case. Yeah,
we've all read these cosmic stories where the travelers in the galaxy and doing all these epic things and people die, and then some sort of cosmic cube kind of just erases it at the end. Like, I've come to expect when they give the biggest stakes, they're gonna have a Deus Ex Machina. It's always the small stories, I think, that have the most lasting impact.
Well, you're right. The ones that they don't hype as universe changing are the ones with the most changes to the universe, because they want to surprise you. And this is, if you tell us, it's subverting expectations.
Well, I
When
call
you do
this
a small story.
I call this the Doctor Who problem. Is Doctor Who always had to top the story beforehand. The newest companion had to top the last companion. The stakes had to get higher and higher, and then they would timey-wimey it, and it would like rectify itself by the time it was over, and it never mattered anyway. Oh, there's no more Daleks. All the Daleks have been exterminated until the next time there's a Dalek story. That's kind of what they're doing. I used to call that British sci-fi storytelling, but now it seems like it's just standard sci-fi storytelling.
In
Make
fairness,
a more
I don't
personal
think
stake story. I think people would like that better.
Yeah, I think you're right. That does seem to be where the actual audience wants. But they're not doing that. I don't even think they care to do it. I also don't think they have the talent to do it, but that's more of a secondary thing.
Well, let me ask Dylan real quick. Dylan, you were reading. You seem to be liking Zdarsky's Captain America. You finished that?
No, I read the first arc, and then I read like the first part of the second. I fell off, so I'm not up to date on it. The last issue I read was when we talked about it when he got crushed by Red Hulk.
Okay, all right, because this picks up like right after that.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of. And did you notice that this has the Avengers Legacy numbering on the cover as well? So yeah, I mean, this is the Avengers book right now, too. I mean, did you read it?
Yeah, I read Armageddon. It felt like this should have been a 0 issue or like a free comic book day special, because it was all set up. Like, this is not what you want as the number one start of it, like where things are going down. Like this needed to be the precursor to the event, not the start of it, because nothing happens. It's all set up, and I don't think this was a good start to the number one. And we all know Marvel does way too many events constantly. Like they just. They feel like that's a way to sell comics, is constantly doing events, and that's why we got another one here.
I'm curious. Can I ask you guys? I kind of like stepped away from Marvel and DC for a while, and I haven't really gone back. Do you collect comic like month to month each issue? Like if you get the Avengers, do you just get the Avengers no matter what every month, like I used to, or is it just I like this event, I like this writer, I like this artist? So there's gaps in your collection.
Yeah, well, I don't. It's weird. I've been buying comics all my life, and I don't feel like I'm a collector. I'm an accumulator. I have such an accumulation of long boxes and short boxes and funnies, but it's like I don't have any like set runs. I'm not like Doc had that amazing uninterrupted, X-Men run. That's impressive. You know what I mean? But so I've never had that kind of like attention to detail for it. But I just end up accumulating. There's like stacks and stacks and stacks of books everywhere in this room.
Yeah,
that's why I won't get back, because I pretty much have an uninterrupted Marvel run from 1962 to 2015, like almost everything Marvel put out. So if I get back into the Fantastic Four, I got to go back and get all of them, even the ones I don't like. So I'm just curious if you guys just collect events, collect artists, collect writers, or this.
No, I was when I was still and I still am. When I'm buying something, I'm buying runs. I just I'm still buying ASM, even though it pisses me off right now. I'm buying G.I. Joe. I'm buying The Darkness. I'm buying Youngblood, and I'm buying a Real American Hero.
Youngblood's. Let me tell you what happens in every issue of Youngblood. Team jumps out of plane onto surface that is in location that requires little to no backgrounds. Character shows up that looks like Cable and or Deadpool. Another character gets into trouble and is rescued by a character that shows up that looks like Cable and or Deadpool. Last page splash of some other character coming in to be a threat. That's every single issue of Youngblood.
Hold on. Occasionally, there's a character that looks like Wolverine.
Yes. Oh, that's true. That's true. And of course, the fight will be with generic soldiers who have very, very round helmets that can be drawn from behind as perfect circles, and or ninjas that are never. It's never explained who the ninjas are or who they work for, but
It doesn't matter.
With,
Master storyteller, Rob.
with guns that look like super soakers.
Yes. But no,
And shoulder
I
pads.
am a buy and continue the story, because the appeal to me is the serial storytelling, not a
collection
event,
or like a
not
trade.
the event is the culmination of a story
Mhm.
that is part of the overall tapestry. Anything, the event itself means nothing at all to me.
So Sparrow, you just got in on the beginning of this event.
No, I didn't,
personally
because
feel like
I
well,
went
thought
and
you-
I looked for a link, and all I had was a link to a Bleeding Cool article, not to an actual review copy. So
okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, where are you all that
Dylan,
time?
did you
then?
read it?
Getting donuts?
Yes, I read it.
Am I insane for thinking this should have been the free comic book giveaway book?
That's literally
That's
what
where
I
he
said
gets
while
his-
you were gone. That's literally what I said.
It's just a zero issue.
Yep, that's exactly what I said while you were gone. Was this was a
Yeah.
setup issue, and it should have been a
Mhm.
zero issue or a real comic day, a free comic day special. Like that's what it needed to be.
Or the
because-
elements should have been in ongoing series leading
Mm.
into it.
Yeah, because you don't want this for your number one, because nothing happens. There's a lot of people sitting around talking, and nothing gets accomplished here. It's not exciting. It's not gonna make you wanna pick it up. The only like new thing for me was I haven't been reading whatever that Weapon X book is. I read one issue of it.
Wolverine,
I didn't
Armageddon.
realize the power buff that 9/11 Cap got.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
he's
realized
Super
that-
American now. He's
Yeah.
like
What
Captain
happened?
America
Did you
and
get like
Superman.
Magneto power or something?
No, he got Superman.
He's like
power.
Superman.
Oh, really?
He's Hyperion.
Oh, gee.
He's
Or
ultimate
Eurocentric.
Hyperion.
Oh, that's gonna make sense.
Him slapping around Captain Marvel was the best part of this comic.
Yeah,
though. That
huh?
was pretty cool. I did not
Yeah.
expect that because I didn't know he had those powers. So when he did that, I was like, oh,
Wow.
okay.
Someone stepped up. Yeah. I mean, I like the art a lot in this book, though. I mean, I thought the art
The
was
art's
best
good, but
part of it.
the artist gets nothing to do but drawing a bunch of people and trying to work around 800 word balloons.
You got me.
And the
there.
main villain is like the Secretary General of the UN, but she's like 27 years old and wears the
Mhm.
dumbest pair of glasses you've ever seen in your life.
Ugh, girls.
It's like,
She's a girl boss.
She's a girl boss.
I don't know. I
It's like-
tried
She's
watching
Canadian.
Into the Gray this week, Wes, and you were absolutely right. I cannot buy this team working for this very young girl who is apparently this like brilliant lawyer, and it was just kind of like it also just like front loaded the movie with a bunch of plot that you're like, I don't care about these characters yet. Like, why are you giving me all this plot with them? So yeah, I agree.
did you have the same reaction to that film, Dylan? I know you're a big Guy Ritchie fan. I went on a little Guy Ritchie spree, and In the Gray felt like him further, getting away from what he's good at.
I liked In the Gray. It just takes a bit to get going because it's like all Lisa Gonzalez for like the first like 45 minutes. It takes a bit to get going. But when we had the scene at like the cafe where they extract her, that's when I was locked in. That's when it got me. And from there on, I really liked it. But it takes a bit to get going. But
Did you
I'm
get
also
to
a
the
big Guy
scene
Ritchie
in the
fan.
cafe, Aaron?
No, I didn't get that far. I got to the point where I was like, I need to like shut this off and like come back to it when I'm ready to sit, when I can go into it knowing I'm going to have to write things down and like draw a diagram. I got to be way more interested to sit there and watch it. But normally I'm all about Guy Ritchie too. I love Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah. But Sully, you did notice that this was just all the same elements from Civil War again, except there was no inciting incident.
Right,
so to speak.
kinda. Yeah, I noticed that too. Like it's just the same thing repackaged with new words on top of it, and it's like, oh, we've been here.
And we get the
Done that.
Canadian commentary on American democracy. They're trying to
Yeah.
spread American democracy with new American democracy city and all this stupid stuff. It's so over the top. You're like, oh God.
And now we got a blue Hulk, we got a girl Hulk, and who looks remarkably like Dennis Camp's She-Hulk from his Ultimate.
That's who I thought it was.
Yeah, and so I was thinking one Hulk, two Hulk, Green Hulk, Blue Hulk was my first thought, and I just Perch said the same thing on his video this week too. That this would have made a great issue number 0 or a free comic book day book, and I'm totally with you because I love both of those concepts. I love having the 0 issue. It's just something about it. I don't know why. It's always such a misfit in your collection in a way. But overall, I think I like this book probably the most out of the gang then. Because I had 0 expectations. I had low expectations. You were right. The bar has been set so low.
I think all of us had low expectations, to be fair.
It is a Marvel book, yeah. But I think the art was the best part of it. I had a chance to I like the Stark Tech. I've always loved Stark Tech kind of stuff. I always love Iron Man, the aesthetic. Tony's look.
What Stark Tech was in this book?
He had the big chartering thing that they wanted to do the VR porn with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they talk about that for a second, and then we're just on to talking about more stuff. We don't get to see any Stark Tech in action.
Sully likes books where people are talking.
Sometimes. I mean,
that's how you start. That's how you start an event.
My favorite part is Spider-Man showing up, being like, "Is this a superhero convention?" And they're like, "No, we're about to defy the UN and go and stop Red Hulk." And he's like, "You know what? I don't think I'm going to do this. I'm going home." We're like, okay, then why the fuck did you show up?
Wait, so Spidey is the UN's bitch?
Well, they pull another Spider-Man being like, "Well, I'm just for the neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm not used to this." You've been around for a while. You've done a lot of stuff outside the neighborhood. How are you still pulling this bit?
Yeah, you've been in so many cosmic conflicts.
You just got back from outer space.
You fought Thanos during the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah. I think you're qualified.
Yeah, I don't get how he's still pulling that.
The Avengers fighting the UN. I'm in. I might be buying a Marvel comic.
No, it's the UN or the Avengers fighting New America, and the UN asking them to not do it because people don't trust heroes anymore.
So
the UN are the good guys. The UN are the good guys. Then F this event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the deadest. Well, I almost called Chip Zdarsky deadest camp. That's the Chip Zdarsky political subtext that he's throwing into it.
Besides Captain Marvel getting slapped around, which is good, the only other part I liked about this was when Namor was talking to Bucky, and he's like, these air breathers always having wars, they're gonna destroy the planet. Then Bucky's like, Atlantis is constantly at war with everyone. And he's like, all right. That was the only other, but also that was one of the better Zdarsky Marvel books was when he wrote Invaders, so it makes sense that he can write them too decently.
Invaders was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was his best Cap work. He did really good on that.
You thought that was better than the Avengers?
I have not read Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
that
read
was really good. Daniel Cunha art. So there was some hope for this one.
I really liked his Invaders.
But they should have come in here and made a fucking statement. Something really big should have happened. An Avenger should have died. They're saying this is like a post-crisis type of event that you're getting here. And nothing really happens except for a lot of people talk about what they think they should do.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I guess the big mystery is whether or not Super America is going to be a good guy and save the world, or he's turning bad to destroy the world. My money is on Super America going bad, considering we already saw him destroy the Pentagon.
There's a character named Super America.
Well, no. The Colton.
It's 9/11 Captain America with Superman's powers now.
Yes.
He was introduced in Zdarsky's Cap run, and he was just the same as Cap, where he had the same abilities. And then something happened in the Weapon X book where now he has Superman's powers.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're doing Homelander. It's like they're doing Homelander.
Yes. There you go.
So is the plot now that the John A. Rybier and John Cassaday era post 9/11 Captain America, that wasn't Steve? Is that the thing now?
No, I think you have to chalk it up to sliding timeline.
I know.
They're basically destroying the concept of the sliding timeline.
Which is I've always been a fan of the notion that Marvel needs a Crisis on Infinite Earths. They need a hard kind of reset. They
I
need
agree.
to, because it's
You didn't read Mark Waid's History of the Marvel Universe? Oh no, that's right.
No.
Nobody did. Where Vietnam is now the Trans-Siberian conflict.
yeah. I mean,
They almost did a crisis level event and reset everything in Secret Wars, but they
right, but
They
bitched out.
they dropped the ball
Yeah.
on that. They could have had one unified universe where you could have brought the X-Men.
But I
back
don't think
to
that's what this is going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of people die.
As far as I'm concerned, the end of Secret
now.
Wars is where the 616 ended, and everything
Right.
that's been printed since is in an alternate universe that I
What
don't
did you
care
say?
about.
well, you're,
What ended the 616, Aaron? I missed what you said.
The end of Hickman's Secret Wars is where I think the
It had a
616 ended.
timeline on it. It pretty much said the end, and that literally was when I stopped collecting Marvel. That was like, okay, I got every Marvel comic from that point before. I'm done.
So every Marvel comic ever?
The only Marvel I'm missing is Amazing Fantasy 15, Hulk number 1, and Fantastic Four number 2, and the first Iron Man. Those are the only Marvel comics I'm missing right now.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
I got a
Nice.
lunatic collection. I got like 58,000 comics behind.
Okay.
me.
He's brain.
okay, so let me see if I got this right. There was the original Ultimate Incursion where they kind of invaded the 616 because that universe was ending, destroyed and ending. So they needed somewhere to go. Then came Secret Wars and Battle Worlds. And then by the end of that, Molecule Man and Reed Richards recreate the Marvel Universe. And so that's the 616 we've been in for the past 11 years.
Well, remember at the end of Secret Wars,
Hmm.
the 616 was gone.
Right.
Yeah.
They were just created. It was that it became Earth Prime, but nobody listened, and they just kept calling it the 616.
Okay.
And so Marvel eventually stopped trying to claim that it was Earth Prime, and they went back to 616 and basically have acted like Secret Wars didn't happen. Kind of. Like in the fact that so the universes are the same number. If they go back to like the Days of Future Past universe, it's still the same universe number, even though Secret Wars should have destroyed all of that and come up with and if they were ever to visit that again, it would have a new number. It doesn't. They just kind of went back to the old universe list because nobody listened to the fact, like all of Marvel readers utterly rejected the Earth Prime thing because that's some DC bullshit. Knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
They just utterly rejected it. Nobody.
It's like if you did Spider-Man Year One, you'd be like, nope,
Yeah,
you can't use that title. That's a DC thing.
no, you can't. That's
Or
that's
DC did a What If book, be like, no, you need to get that shit out of here.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that was essentially what it is. So technically, we're still on Earth Prime, but it's the 616 again.
And
No, it's not.
like Miles Morales wakes up, and he's always been part of that Earth. He's got and his
Yeah.
family's there, and it's and there's it's a little janky. That's where it gets a little janky.
Yeah, that's because it's all bullshit. Everything after that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't we be Earth Prime, right? Like the real world?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, General Balsack
Yeah.
just said that in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't we Earth Prime? Yes.
Well, Prime Earth Zero is the clinical name for the DC current post Doomsday Clock, Dark Crisis, and Infinite Earths Earth. That we're all on.
I think Marvel should move to Earth 6756, the Spidey super stories with the Electric Company universe.
Ooh, see, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was hoping for Earth 69 where we're all smiling.
Waka, woozle wuzzle.
Or Earth 68, Sully. You do me, and I'll owe you one.
Wait, here we go.
So, Sully, you're coming back for Armageddon Seconds. Sounds like.
I'll read it. I'll read the next one. I mean, how many issues does it go? Is it a 5-issue standard?
I think it's gonna be 6.
6. Oh, that's kind of them. Usually they give us only 5 anymore.
Well, they gave you the 0 issue and called it a 1. And
Yeah, you got to.
this is my favorite story about this whole thing. I saw somebody, and I don't know if it was real, but I sure hope it was. They said, I wanted to review Avengers Armageddon, but I got the blind bag, and I got the ultra rare exclusive issue number 2. So I haven't read issue number 1 yet. Isn't that completely stupid, Aaron, that you could accidentally get the second issue and never have read the first one and be like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's weird. Like, it's weird that they chose to do that. Like, you're going to get like the second issue in this blind bag for number 1. It's like, what?
Do I have to go and just buy a regular A copy?
Like, why would you want that?
My question is, was the issue 2 at least in good condition? Because as we've been hearing, Marvel blind bags, they put them in blind bags and then they hit them with a hammer before they send them out.
I haven't heard anything about the blind bag conditions. Yeah, that's good.
Must
That's
be
an
good.
interesting call.
All right, Dylan, I'm assuming you're not coming back for Armageddon Seconds unless it's a topic.
Yeah, I have no plans to continue reading this. This first issue did not win me over.
Yeah, are you feeling bad for Marvel Zombies because DC is so good with quality and it's pretty enjoyable? You're not quite as good as Rebirth era, but getting kind of close to it, whereas Marvel is just completely bereft that they can't even do their enormous pre-post Armageddon event well.
I definitely feel bad for Marvel fans, but not necessarily specifically Marvel Zombies, because it's like that's your own choice. Go read good comics. You don't have to keep reading this sludge that Marvel puts out. But I do feel bad for like big fans of characters that's like been in hell for a while now because they just can't get a good comic. That's tough.
Well, yeah, Marvel fans are always rubbing DC fans' face in it, right?
True.
Doesn't even matter if you're good, we're always better type of thing.
Here's the thing, though. There's decades and decades of good comics with these characters that you can go read. Even if you've already read them, go back and read them again. Recapture your enjoyment of what and remind yourself of what good stories were and what good character development was. And when Marvel felt like a cohesive universe and it felt important and it didn't feel like just a bunch of throwaway trash on the shelf to get a market share. That's what Marvel is now. It's just a churn of sludge. And until that company either dies or is led by people who actually care, until you get rid of C.B. Cebulski, until you get rid of Tom Brevoort, until you get rid of Jordan White, people who are just there to punch a clock, until you do that and you've got people that are actually invested in the company's success, in the character stories, in telling, in making good comics, this is what you get. And if you're a Marvel zombie and you want to just keep drinking off the sludge pipe, that's your business.
Absolutely.
All right, Sparrow, I got a question for you. Doc actually got this one. We couldn't really answer it. What is the good Spider-Man noir story? I like the character, I like the concept, and I always read the book, but I can't go like, oh, that's the one that you have to read.
I can't answer that either because I can't remember reading a single Spider Noir story that stuck with me. So I guess the best Spider Noir story is go watch Into the Spider-Verse.
It's better than Nick Cage?
It's not his story. I haven't watched that yet.
I watched a little bit of it. It was actually pretty good. Like, Nick is way over the top. It's great.
Nick Cage over the top? What?
Yeah. I've watched like an episode and a half and I fell asleep partway through. So
it might be because you're
Nick
old.
Nick Cage is
I was fucking exhausted and I just nodded off. And
it was too loud. Come on,
start it.
Tell me. It was too
then
loud.
I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
Nick Cage is the Rob Liefeld of actors. Like there's something there that entertains you. There's something there that grabs your attention, but he's never been particularly great.
Hard disagree. I love Nick Cage. He's great.
He was great.
He's great in everything he's in. Yeah, he's great in Raising Arizona. National Treasure, incredible.
My favorite Nick Cage movie. My favorite Nick Cage movie, without a doubt, is Willy's Wonderland. He is on screen for almost the entire movie, does not say one word.
No, he just like beats the shit out of robots, then goes and plays a video game, then cleans up a little bit, gets attacked by a robot, soda. Beats the shit out of it. No, like you know what? I guess it's not fair to call him the Rob Liefeld because Nick Cage is legitimately good at being weirdly fascinating. In every role.
He's great as Dracula in that Renfield movie that came out a few years ago. The movie itself is okay, but he is, every time he's on screen, electric.
Tell me
Yeah.
you don't. Your face lights up when he comes on the screen. You know, there's something. He's one of the few actors I just like. Like I don't want to meet him because that would probably ruin it.
Oh,
But
he's a
watching
huge comic
him-
book fan. You would get along with him. We would all get along.
you know, you're probably right, but like I that off chance that he's a jerk, I'd be like, oh,
Mhm. Oh, I think if you went long box diving in the dollar bins, be like, hey, what you got over there? You know,
yeah.
Yeah. The comments are
love-
bringing up he completely owned fucking Travolta in Face Off. He was
Yeah.
great.
I love
Yeah,
Raising
that makes
Arizona. It's like one of my all-time favorite movies.
My-
But
my
it's one of those
favorite
weird
story
things
about
where you
him is
you
he
can't
married-
look away. You can't look away, but you're like, was this a performance that was believable? Like, did I buy? No, I didn't. I don't buy it at all. But like, I can't look away from like because it's just what the hell is he gonna do? Even in
Mhm.
Spider Noir, I was like, did he have a stroke? He's talking like he had a stroke, and Wes is like, no, he's doing a gumshoe voice, and I'm like, oh, that's a guy who had a stroke voice.
Nah, he's
you
got
know,
a noir
his-
voice.
his
Not the
Elvis
five knuckle
voice.
shuffle stroke.
I just laughed at people saying he can't play Spider-Man. He's 60 years old. It's like, how naive are you? You think that guy in the costume is Nicolas Cage? You know, it's just a voiceover with the guy in a full body mask. You know,
And the guy's got powers. Like, once you establish that he has powers, he
Sequentialism
doesn't have
says,
to do
I
it.
used to sell paintings to Nick Cage for years, and he's really
Oh,
mellow.
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably is.
I want to like him. So yeah, I already like him. But you know, I want to continue to like him. He was awesome in Wild at Heart. That's my favorite performance.
Wild at Heart.
I don't think he'd be a dick. I think that you might just like if you hung out with him for any period of time, you might be like, oh, he is super weird.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. I don't think he'd be a mean guy. Just, very odd, probably.
What if
Yeah, but you were
meet-
going to hang out with Muse, Sparrow. It's not like you're opposed to hanging out with weird people.
You were pushing me to hang out with Muse. I don't think that would ever happen. I mean, sure, he gave
He
me
gave you his
his
fucking number and said, let's go look at action figures. Did I misremember this one?
No, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, you could be hanging out with Jay right now.
He told me to message him anytime I heard of any Deadshot product coming out.
Exactly, dude. So I say that Armageddon not living up to the hype, but I will suffer through the rest of it because I feel obligated. Unfortunately. What else we got? We had this interesting thing. Doc and I kind of talked about this a bit in Doc Unfiltered, but Alan Moore just went out there and obviously trashed the comic book industry because that's what he likes to do, but threw a little bit of extra shade there, Sully, at one Frank Miller, despite years earlier absolutely praising his work. What do you make of this? Are you on the Alan Moore team, Frank Miller?
Okay, what was the inciting incident here? This happened this week that Alan Moore
No,
totally
a few weeks
dissed him.
ago. There's an interview where they asked
Back
him
in April.
Uh-huh.
about it.
What was he going on about? His current art style that like everyone seems to hate except for me?
No, he says that Frank Miller destroyed comic books.
No, I don't.
No.
think
He was very vague, and he was just like, Frank Miller's part of the reason he wants nothing to do with the comic industry. He's made
come
one comment during an interview, and
Mhm. I mean,
He
that's
said,
just-
he's one of the reasons I'm embarrassed to be connected with the comics industry.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Alan Moore, you wrote a book about Snow White and a bunch of other underage fairy tale characters having orgies with each other. So I think that the comic industry at this point could be embarrassed by you. You also think that you're a wizard and you claim to worship a serpent god. And every time you talk, you just come off like a bitter old crone. So, just go be a bitter old woman with your ever growing hair and go crazy and let your fingernails grow out till they do that weird curl thing. Just go be a crazy person and stop subjecting us to your outdated takes and opinions on everybody that you're bitter about.
I've been the world's last defender of Alan Moore. I have a lot of affection for him. I loved his Swamp Thing. I loved Miracle Man. I think Tom Strong is perhaps one of my favorite comics. But when I found out that he donated his Watchmen money to BLM, I was just like, I'm not going to defend him, or I don't want to even talk about him anymore. I just kind of like, come on, Alan. I part of me thinks that it's all an act, that nobody could be this contrarian, but I don't know.
I understand that he hates the industry. He says the industry is poisonous, and it absolutely is true. There is once corporate interests come in and they take over everything, that's what happens. But him to act like that's unique to comics and like him writing novels, like that's not in the regular publishing industry where he publishes novels, or that's not like, even if he was going down and doing beat poetry at the local coffee shop, there's going to be poison there. Anytime you get people and one person is more successful than the other, you're going to have poison.
Right. He's bitter because he never got the Watchmen rights back. Well, it's like, congratulations, you're on the same team with Jack Kirby. Congratulations, you're on the same team with 99% of everybody else who's ever worked like, woe is me, Alan. Did you actually think that DC was going to give you the Watchmen back? Never.
Yeah, I mean, that's your naivete, right? Like, don't blame DC because you were a bad businessman and you signed a bad deal. You should have had lawyers look over it that told you, well, it says that they can keep the rights as long as they keep printing it in perpetuity. And if you thought that, at some point they were just going to go, yeah, we don't want to make this money anymore. We don't want to print this anymore. If you were naive enough to believe that, that's on you.
Yeah.
Plenty of people had been screwed before Alan Moore was screwed for him to know to look out for being screwed.
Right. And I mean, didn't he write Miracle Man? Like, and they had the rights to that, and the guy kind of didn't make any money either. So it's like, what did the physician heal thyself kind of thing?
I don't believe Alan Moore didn't make money off Watchmen. I think Alan Moore still makes money off Watchmen.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Rob Liefeld's story about employing Alan Moore?
No.
Oh, you need to go watch that. It is so interesting because he was paying Alan Moore an obscene amount of money.
Yeah.
And
for Supreme.
Yes.
Glory.
And then later Alan Moore comes back and he's like, well, I still want to make this money, but I've got this really brilliant understudy that could write the book and I'll just oversee him. And it was like his neighbor's kid or something. And it was clear that Alan just didn't want to do the work. He just wanted to be lazy, but he liked that money coming in.
Didn't he have a falling out with Image Comics? Because I was...
1963.
Yeah, 1963. It was just like, okay, one of the first YouTube shows I was ever asked to be on was Clobbering Times, Mike Alonso, and he passed away 2 years ago today. God bless you, Mike. And he suggested to me 1963. I had never even, that flew under my radar. And I was like, so I got to, catch up on this wonderful comic. I mean, because this is Alan Moore at his best, in my humble opinion. It's the love of the Silver Age Marvel books in this completely uninhibited, inventive imagination. And I just love these reinterpretations of all the Marvel archetypes. It was so much fun, but it's incomplete. There's 6 issues, and there's supposed to be a finale that done in an annual. And what was Jim Lee was supposed to have done that?
Yeah, they were all these guys were supposed to do it. Then they were going to collect it into a graphic novel or a trade paperback, whatever you want to call it. And Rick Veitch, rather, he's still upset. He was like, I was counting. He took a low page rate because they were counting on the sales for the trade paperback that Alan Moore and he said, Alan Moore's the millionaire, not me. Like everybody who worked on that project, that kind of soured me on Alan. It's just like
he threw that massive fucking temper tantrum after Wildstorm and Jim Lee sold to DC because his ABC line was through Wildstorm.
Right.
And
he's back with DC Comics.
And now he's forced to work for DC again after swearing he never would. Then fucking stop.
That neighbor's kid ended up working on some Wildstorm books too, according to Rob. Like, so they actually ended up getting getting that short end of the stick. But here's the thing: you're telling me stuff. Yeah, and you're telling me Alan Moore is a millionaire, but he's a communist, John. How can that be? A communist millionaire? What a shock!
Now, and also all of that. What the ABC Comics, doesn't he own them? Like, couldn't he just stop it under?
Yeah, he could have just stopped,
and then brought
didn't want to.
I don't know. Aaron Sparrow Comics or something like that. You know what I mean?
But he likes the money. He likes the money. So
he didn't have to be the financial backer of ABC, but he still got to keep ownership.
Right. He had to, just like a communist, he balked at doing the work.
Yes.
Just like a communist, he was excited to spend other people's money.
Well, can't someone else do it? Didn't Homer Simpson say that?
Yeah, but
And-
it's a shame.
but so-
Gray Shirt and Tom Strong, and I still love his
Top
Supreme
10.
runs. Amazing.
Yeah, and so he could have left. He could have left. He could have dropped the ABC line. He could have taken it and gone somewhere else, but then he would have had to take his own risk.
Well,
Typical communist wants
you could-
wants a piece of the fruits of the endeavor, but doesn't want to take the risk.
well, you going to tell
Right.
me Dark Horse wouldn't have taken it? Yeah, at the
No,
time,
no, they would have.
yeah.
Yeah.
What
The article.
This was just I didn't get my way, and I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. And Rick Veitch now is out of a successful monthly comic.
And none of us has mentioned Promethea yet either. I kept forgetting. Oh,
Well,
geez,
that
Prometheus.
ended, on its own terms. But that was a phenomenal series too.
That was an amazing book.
The article says that Moore has criticized what he considers the misogynistic, homophobic, and fascist overtones of Miller's work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called telling a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Like
think
all the
Frank
buzzwords
Miller,
in
I
there.
guess, is just an easy punching bag because of that stupid Holy Terror book. So anybody
Yeah.
that wants to trash the guy can say whatever he wants. And for some reason, he just goes along with it and kind of has apologized for it.
Alan, I criticize your pedophile book. How about
Oh,
that?
my goodness. And
Yeah, as I said, we don't want to talk about Lost Girls, do we?
No, but you know what? One
still
thing I
have it
love
shrink wrap, and I'm like, do I open it up and read it, or do I just forget
exactly.
No, as soon as you
No.
open it up, there's a sensor that puts you on a list, John.
about it? Oh my god! Don't even say that.
Alert. I mean, I never stopped reading Frank Miller's Dark Knight books. I love Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. I love The Golden Child. And like there's some kind of unbridled hopefulness that Frank Miller has in his old age. And it's in his Dark Knight stories. And sometimes they're a little bit on the nose politically, yes. But it's Frank Miller, so you can either forgive him or you can just reject it. And I'd rather be forgiving and enjoy the last of his stories in this Batman world that he's
I mean,
producing.
Holy
I
Terror.
don't think he has to forgive. Does he? He doesn't need to apologize or receive forgiveness for anything. He wrote a book he didn't like, or some people didn't like.
Right.
So Holy Terror wasn't that great. It wasn't that bad either. It was, it was middling, but we expected so much from Frank Miller. But I tell you, his Daredevil runs, his Batman runs,
Those
that guy
early
gets a
Sin
lifetime
Cities?
pass.
Those early Sin Cities are still some of my favorite
Yeah.
comics of all time.
Yeah. I mean, Frank Miller, he is, I don't want to say he's earned the right to rest on his laurels, but like he's a creator that has changed comics. He's one of the few creators that literally changed the way comics are viewed, made, accepted. So yeah. All right. So he had an alcohol problem and he didn't put out some of the best work ever, but his even Holy Terror is still better than a lot of other people's best work. And it's not Frank's best. Sin City is amazing. I know I could gush on Frank Miller. I think the guy.
I mean, at his peak, he's probably the best writer-artist combo in the history of comic books.
One of them, yeah.
And let's be honest, Alan Moore had a falling out with that. You could put almost anything on the end of that sentence. The only good relationship he seems to have is with a couple of his artists. But anybody who he's ever had to do business with, or he's ever had to write for, or he's ever had to take any instruction from, he just chafes at it. He's just one of those personality types that's like never happy with anything.
I'm a big fan of Captain Beefheart, the musician.
Yeah.
I always put Captain Beefheart and Alan Moore kind of in the same category.
Uh-huh.
They both admit that they were spoiled by their parents growing up, and their parents gave them whatever they wanted, like the infant terrible, and they both grew up to be eccentric geniuses. Like we have to admit, I think Alan Moore was a phenomenal writer. He was a genius, and he did, for good or for bad, he changed comics. But you just don't tell him no. He's a spoiled brat now in his 70s.
And that's why he's an elitist communist, because that's where they come from.
Yeah.
It's like, look, go read the original Baroness file card.
Uh-huh.
And it talks about how she is the child of she's a spoiled child of European aristocrats. And that's essentially Alan Moore.
Yeah, nobody who does hard labor for a living is a communist or a Marxist.
Yeah.
It's always people with very soft hands.
It's always these people that work in office buildings, and like Ben Shapiro saying nobody should retire until they're 75 or so. Dude, Go spin 3-inch gal in the mud in February, like I do, and tell me when I get to retire.
Well, in Ben Shapiro's defense, we all need to work so that money can be sent to Israel. So that was not really a defense, but that's the perspective.
Yeah, but I didn't think about how the average Israeli feels. You're right. I should think more about that. Yeah, what they need.
What every American needs to think about.
But I mean, I'm like 40 years later, and they still, both of them have this. They've been yoked with the title of the man who ruined superhero comics in a way by making things too dark. And this, I just think human nature. Moore's probably just thinking about his legacy and thinking like, hey, it's all his fault. It's Frank's fault, not mine. You know what I mean?
I don't think Frank. I mean, they did make comics dark, but it's the nature of comics to repeat what sells. You know what I mean? And and then they rippled, and then they made inferior copies. It's like cloning. When you keep cloning, you get stormtroopers that can't hit Han Solo as he's standing in front of an open Millennium Falcon. You just make derivative comics, and that's what comics did. That's not Alan Moore's fault. That's not Frank Miller's fault. That's just the nature of the business.
I'm sorry, I got to interject. That was the will of the Force protecting everyone.
Okay.
Stormtroopers were crack shots.
Man, I'm getting
Obi-Wan said that. Obi-Wan, like, these were too precise for sand people. I think that was the will of the Force. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Sorry. The thing is, I've always looked at Moore as like this. Frank Miller was always the realist, and Alan Moore was the utopian.
Yes. Okay. I'll buy
and
that.
in a lot of ways, Moore. Well, his approach to comics didn't work. His worldview lost. Like the Miller's realism, even maybe nihilism. Even like Miller would even kind of his realism would border on nihilism at times, but he ended up kind of coming to peace with it, with the world as it with all of its dirt and grime and everything else, and like learned to see the beauty in it. Whereas Alan Moore is just a bitter old man because his utopia never happened.
That's which happens to anybody who's a utopianist. It literally means no place. Utopia, the word derives from no place. It can't exist. So like progressivism, the whole end goal of progressivism is to get to utopia, which can't exist. It's like, we're going to progress towards fairyland.
And that Moore thinks that he's the enlightened mind that could where this utopia could exist. If you had an entire gang of Alan Moores, they couldn't establish a utopia. Like, it's not in his nature. It's not in anybody's nature, but particularly his, because he's a bitter, self-important old man.
And nobody wants to dig. Which Alan Moore is gonna dig the trenches? Which Alan Moore is gonna build the houses? I want to be the Alan Moore that sits in there and writes a story.
Very nice. We do have another big debut that I definitely wanted to get to. Aaron has been talking about this son of a bitch for weeks now. We got Mass #1, Dan Waters, writing duties here. I know this is a franchise that you've been very interested in. Did you decide to give it a gander, Aaron?
I have not picked it up yet. I have the Vanessa Warfield cover waiting for me, which was the selling point for it. Otherwise, I was planning to skip it and not even pick up an issue because I don't care for the race swapped Matt Tracker. It's not my Matt Tracker. I can just pass on it. Yeah. But I will pick up that Vanessa Warfield issue. What I think is way more interesting is what they did with the blind bags. It's kind of terrible and kind of awful for fans that might have wanted to pick it up, but they put a ROM #1 in the blind bags for the Masked book. So again, buying a blind bag and not getting the book that you were buying.
Well, it's revealed you're getting ROM Space Knight.
Yes, which is exciting. I'm excited for ROM. I like ROM a lot, and I like him being part of this crazy universe. It's so funny to watch Kirkman succeed at what IDW tried but failed, but then also making kind of the same mistake which kind of like led to their failure, which was race swapping that Tracker. That's why the Mask book didn't work the first time around, is because you didn't have. Right? Yeah, the only saving grace here is that this is established as like this kind of like different universe. We're getting the same characters and the same stories, but in a fresh new take. So, you know, maybe they can make the
An
race swap
absolute
work.
universe, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, still don't like it, but maybe, you know, I'll read the Vanessa Warfield cover that, you know, I'll read that book and we'll see what I think. You know, I may change my mind on it, but initially I don't like the fact that they did that.
Sully, did you come in for Mask?
No, I didn't.
What? I'm the only one that read the big Energon book?
Really? I think so. Well, I do enough Energon heavy lifting. I do G.I. Joe and I do Transformers, but I never did Void Rivals. And I kept track of Void Rivals a little bit here and there, but only for like the Transformer parts. Like,
but Pythona debuts in Void Rivals.
About Cobra La. Cobra La is where it jumped the shark. You know what I mean? Cobra La is my least favorite thing. Like, you know, about that. So, I think it's going to get
Cobra La this week. I think it might have been in this book.
Yeah, I think it was G.I. Joe 30. No, Transformers 33. There was a
oh,
page.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, with Wheeljack going underwater.
Yes.
I just think the Energon universe is going to get cluttered really quickly. And hopefully they got a good like 5-year plan, because we're in year 3 of it already, because like we're in the 30s now for Transformers. And
can you imagine a comic reaching its 30s? Oh
wow.
my god! Certainly not at Marvel or DC.
It's time for a reboot. Issue number 1.
Let's get a new issue number 1.
I'll give my impressions of Mask number 1 from Dan Waters.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe that Dan Waters, for the most part, is a shit superhero comic book writer. He probably shouldn't have been on this book. It's not all that exciting, but it's the art that's truly over the top, not very good. Like the face, especially on Matt Tracker, he looks like a psychopath 80% of the time. Anytime there's a close-up on his face, he looks like he's got like a vein popping out of his forehead. He's so angry. It's weird. So, wasn't a big fan. I can't believe I'm the only one that decided to come in on Mask. I guess we'll get to a 4th topic. This never happens. We got Absolute Catwoman. We talked about it a little bit there earlier, Dylan. Cassandra Cain debuts at the very end. We also got told we're getting an Absolute Cassandra Cain one-shot, I think, in the near future.
Yep.
Was that exciting for you?
I mean, I don't care about Cassandra Cain at all. That's one of my...
You don't like Orphan?
No. I think she's a stupid character. I know a lot of people love her. I don't care about her. But
she's Batman, but she doesn't talk. And she's a girl.
Her first language she learned was fighting. Whoa. I don't care. I never cared about Cassandra Cain. But I did like Absolute Catwoman. I did not expect this book to be any good at all. But I agreed with that earlier. I thought it was a 7 out of 10. Not a great book, but I was surprised because I thought it was going to be like a 4. I thought it was not going to be very good. But I liked what went on here. It was interesting enough seeing the lifestyle this Catwoman's been living and what's going on. I will say having that group of Catwomans come in with the classic design, yeah, that design still looks so much better than the Absolute design. I feel like it's a bit of a mistake there, just showing like it's like, oh, it looks so much better than this Absolute design. They did something similar with like the Deathstroke book where they did a flashback with his OG suit, and it's just like, this looks so much better than his current design. It's like you can't be doing that. You can't be making that mistake because that just makes me want that. But overall, I thought this was pretty good. It was fun. I liked it. I was surprised.
Did you like the motorcycle turning into a Voltron tiger?
Yeah,
flying thing.
That was cool.
Yeah, I didn't think that was like kind of weird. It doesn't feel like this would go on the streets as well as an actual motorcycle.
Well, it was a motorcycle, and then it switched.
It's not supposed to be practical, Wes. It's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to make you go, ooh, extreme.
And it worked because she needed to get over all that debris, so she used that, and then she turned back into
unless it becomes the forearm of a bigger robot. I just don't see the point.
Well, it probably will, and all those robots will have known Bruce Wayne as a child and been his friend.
Ooh, maybe it will connect with the Robin robot.
Oh, there you go.
You ever watch the Venture Brothers where they did the Fantastic Four, but the Thing character was a big callus and he was basically retarded, and so all the robots form, but his is an arm, but it's an ice cream clown. Like
Ned wants to hug you.
Love Ned.
So Dylan, do you give the recommend, like even a loose recommend for the Absolute Catwoman?
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend it. I'd say if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. It was fun.
Very good. We actually got through 4 topics today, but we'd already kind of covered
Today?
this earlier.
Gay?
No, we know what's in Wes's head.
That's the five knuckle
Happy
shuffle.
Pride Month.
Oh my goodness. Aaron offered. I'm not even going to get into it.
Whoa!
Five knuckle
No,
shuffle.
Hey,
no,
what
no,
are you
no,
doing?
He was. There was.
Wait, what is
twisting
the what?
wrists and stuff? It was weird.
Oh,
Do you think?
damn.
Do you find
What?
Wes to be a reliable narrator?
That's true.
What are you talking about? It happened on
No,
the other show.
I don't know if it made it onto the Geek Fix, but like some reason, like I said, like we need to, or I wanted to take a break. I was telling Wes, like I was going like this, like
He was going. Oh
no,
twist.
I was like, can we take a break? You know, I was trying to like keep
No, he
talking,
was
but
like,
tell him like,
gotta-
you know, I need to go get a drink of water. I'm losing, I'm losing my voice. And he's like, what are you doing? And I told him, I said, can we just take a break? And then he was like, oh, I thought you were doing like some kind of like 5 knuckle shuffle thing. And then he
He's
actually
like-
said, I don't know if this clip exists, but like he might have cut it. But on the podcast, he said, 5 knuckle shuffle my ass. And I was like, you gotta stop saying these things.
No, but Aaron there was like a twisting thing. I was like,
there was no twisting.
there was twisting. You were like,
No, a
Get in
break. A break.
no,
Now
there was
there's
no
someone
break.
more.
There was no twisting. There was no jerking. It was just a break.
I never tossed off to anything. Hey, you're in here combing your hair and the water running.
This amazing live stream has been sponsored. So let's get back to another viewing of this amazing trailer on the way out.
Previously, monsters became mankind's last line of defense, led by an ancient vampire, a fragile alliance built on distrust, a vigilante turned something darker, a cop fighting the beast within, a cursed priest bound to a demon, a child trapped in a monster's body. But now, something ancient has surfaced. The Tome of Leviathan, a book of apocalyptic power that no human can understand. Except one, Dr. Herbert West. Cold, methodical, obsessed with conquering death. First, he brought the dead back. Then, he learned to control them. Now, with the tome, he won't just raise the dead, he'll command them. Dinosaurs, corpses, monsters, everything that's ever died will fight for him. And if that wasn't enough, something inside the team is breaking. If they fail, the world won't survive.
So I don't understand how you could not understand that's like one of the best sound effects ever created in movie history was the T-Rex roar, and you were like, it's too much.
It's too much for me, man. My sensitive ears. I got these big ass ears. I inherited from my grandfather, who's from Ireland. You can say they have a thing in Ireland. You can tell a Kerryman by the size of his ears. You know.
They're only gonna get bigger, Sully.
I
That's
know,
how it
huh?
works.
Ooh, they're probably
Exactly.
getting all the weird hairs on the outside. I'm going through that right now.
Oh damn!
That's the next Jurassic Park. The island they choose is Ireland. That's where they put all the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean,
That ain't gonna go well for the dinosaurs.
Oh, the dinosaurs are carrying shillelaghs.
oh my goodness,
Yeah, nice.
they're after me, pot of gold.
That'll never get me Lucky Charms.
Oh, why are they always laughing when they say that?
Put all the dinosaurs into the hotels, and then they're gonna get firebombed.
So, Sparrow, you guys have a new cover from Katya Sachuchina. How do you say that? She's
I
Russian.
don't. I just say Katya. I don't know.
Katya.
I've never heard her pronounce it, and I don't want to butcher it. So Katya is an amazing talent, and we got a new cover from her. I don't know if you have it to show off, but it's quite nice.
Know that I have it to show off. I guess I could do it. I'm gonna have to. There we go. I gotta copy it. Then I can save it. You're gonna have to keep talking, Aaron.
All right, I'll keep talking. Unholy Nightmare 3 is coming out. It's like I said, the book is done. 4 is also done. We're in progress on 5. Things are going really well. As far as other books go, I just got the notification that Kneel Before Doomface books will be here on the 18th or the 19th. So I will just need to get those set up, check them for damages. There's the Katya cover. So that's Jenny, our she-wolf. You can see the shadow behind her. And Katya does amazing work. So
dangerous
very
curves.
How are the Wright brothers involved with this?
Ridiculous.
Well, see, we flash back to the fact that the Wright brothers were Frankensteins, and
We already firmly established that John can't even say Xavier right, and you're gonna pretend like he couldn't say the word right and make me think Wright brothers.
I'm glad that you decided to use John as your shield to take the bullet.
You just like want to say it.
Ron's got a couple of shields behind him. He can take it.
One of the bus there.
But no, as I was saying about Doomface, the books they're in the States. They will be to me on the 18th or the 19th. I'll check them for damages, and then fulfillment will begin. And I still have to make an announcement through the Kickstarter. But I thought anybody who listens to Aficionados who ordered a book, they will be coming your way soon.
Good. I'm excited for that. They look awesome.
Very nice. All right, John. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it was last minute, but I'm glad that you could make it. I think we had a
thank
good
you for
time
inviting
here.
me. It's fun. I enjoy this.
Do you have
Thank you.
any comics that you want to recommend this week, or maybe a little reminder about Heroic Tales?
Well, if you go to Fund My Comic, Heroic Tales Christmas Special, that's my book right now. 2 complete stories. You don't have to wait too long. I promised that you would have them by Christmas, but the comic's already done. So I'm going to be, shipping them a lot earlier. And I'm at work. I'm hard at work at Patriarch #1. That's going to be complete before the campaign even goes live. So I got a lot of stuff coming out. Bill Williams and I have a story at Giant Size Punchline #1. So I got a lot of stuff all of a sudden is going to come out really fast. But right now, go to Fund My Comic, get the Christmas special, 2 complete stories. You'll have them in your hands by Christmas, guaranteed. Yep. Thank you. And thank you for having me on. This was fun. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. All right, Sparrow. We were just talking a few seconds ago. Do you have any toys or books that you want to recommend?
Yeah, I do have some toys I want to recommend. First of all, I want to recommend G.I. Joe Hit and Run. This figure is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, it's only 1 per case, so it's really hard to come by. They popped up on Hasbro Pulse, and I immediately texted Doc and said, they're on Hasbro Pulse, go get one. But mine arrived, and I am really super happy with it. So if you get a chance, you see him in a store, you might want to grab him and pick him up.
Does it have LED lights?
It does not have any LED. Why would it have LED lights?
I don't know. It looked like maybe he had a little headlight.
No, he's just got his goggles, man.
Okay.
I also recommend. I picked my friend Joshua picked up a couple
Cowboy
figures
Superman?
for me. Picked up the Vigilante. So since I am getting the Jonah Hex on the General, I was like, I need another cowboy to go with him, and I've got plenty of horses so that he can sit next to him. So I recommend that, and then I also recommend the McFarlane Metron. I haven't opened either one of these yet, but Metron actually comes with the Mobius chair, which you can assemble, and it's pretty nice. So that was a nice one. And then he also found me Larfleeze. So I loved the whole Lantern saga that introduced the different colors of the emotional spectrum. Larfleeze was one of my favorite introductions to that. So had to grab that figure, even though I have him in a couple of incarnations already. So those are my recommendations for the week.
Metron showed up in JSA last week, dude. Final page. Should be reading it. Pretty darn cool. All right, Sully, you recommend anything this week, dude?
Yeah, I got 5 floppies at my local comic book shop this week. Every Wednesday, I pick up my pull list, and I have access to variant covers, and I'm going to show you a really awesome variant cover I got. But first, starting off my my list here, I got Aquaman number 18. It's not the best issue out there. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, but I love a Green Lantern team up with Aquaman. It's just Super Friends kind of stuff, and Jeremy Adams just keeps making decent to good comics, and I'm here for him. Fury of Firestorm number 3, we talked about it earlier. We got some Doomsday Clock stuff in here. We've got Project Firestorm. We've got Martin Stein doing a heel turn coming off the top turnbuckle. This is still a really interesting book, and I'm in on it. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 329. I'm so grateful that Paul Pelletier came back for art. I liked Andrew Cranky on Bloodrick, but he was not working for me the past 2 issues of Real American Hero. But still, it's just such a great comic book, and Larry Hama is nailing it. This is what I was talking about. This is the Tom Riley G cover for Transformers number 33. There's a full color variant of this as well, but I got the line art variant, and I fucking love this cover. If you know from previous episodes, I am a big fan of Baroness, so this is technically a Baroness variant cover in a way. And it's just G.I. Joe and Transformers. There are no Mask people on here, no ROM Easter eggs either, no Void Rival stuff. It's just Transformers and G.I. Joe. And this is a really awesome cover by Tom Riley. Look at all that detail. I'm loving this. And you could smoke a bone and just
Whoa!
Smoke a bone, huh?
Smoke a bone. I mean, light up some reefer. Smoke a bowl. You could say, dude.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Phrasing?
Yeah. No. There is definitely some phrasing there.
Oh, great.
Holy shit. I am not smoking any bone.
Oh, man,
Listen,
You're missing out, Doc.
if that's somebody's thing, more power to you. I'm not telling you how to live your life.
It's June after all.
I didn't say
Happy
smoke a
Pride Month,
bone.
Sully.
I said smoke a bone. You know what I mean?
We said
Yeah,
As
we
said
know
earlier.
what you said.
Roll it from the inside out to get it nice and even.
That is not smoking a bone, sir.
As we said earlier, whatever your thing is, it might not be my thing, but hey, go for it.
Oh, Pikachu, I love you, man. Okay, so my pick of the week is Flash Gordon, number 17. I've stuck with it, and the art in this is just incredible. I'm into this for the art by Manuel Garcia. It is such a fun book. It really is. Dan Abnett's taken over from Jeremy Adams, and one of my favorite parts of this book is at the end of each issue is this Sunday funny book, this Sunday funny style of a page. I love these things, and this has been one of my favorite comic books for a year and a half now. So my pick of the week is Mad Cave's Flash Gordon number 17,
Nice.
and those are my picks for the week. And honestly,
Sully?
too, yeah.
I was going to say the
Yeah.
term you were looking for there is comic strip style.
Oh, thank you. Comic strip style. And smoking a bone, too.
Oh, no, we're
But
not smoking.
You know what came out this week was Batman, the Gargoyle of Gotham, number 4. And I mean, who remembers this book? It is
It
an
came out in
amazing.
September of 2023 is when it debuted.
Wow. I mean, this is, it took
It's been
2
16
years and
months
9
since the
months.
last issue. Yeah.
This could have been, but it's it's going to collect beautifully. But what an agonizing experience to be part of the periodical serialized format of this. And it's a beautiful book, and it's an interesting story. But was it worth the wait? Well, I haven't read it yet because it fell off my radar. I didn't even remember until I saw it. Was I saw it on leagueofcomicgeeks.com. I'm like, oh, gee, I forgot all about that book. Interesting.
Sean Sutton, Sully, smoking a bone. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Hey, don't bogart that joke, my
does
friend. Pass it
not.
over to me.
No.
No.
We know what you think it means. That's not what it means.
Mm-mm.
There's a
Kind
Clerks
of like
joke
the
here.
Not even in
5-knuckle
Ireland.
shuffle situation.
Yeah.
It definitely does not mean the thing you think it means.
I think Five Knuckle Shovel meant exactly what Wes
Oh
thought
my
it meant.
goodness.
No, I was using it in the sense of John Cena. He's got
Oh my God.
that's this one of his finishing moves.
That's what you do when you see
Oh.
John Cena?
No, that's what he uses in his match.
It's one of his 5 moves of doom.
Exactly.
I'm an old stoner, man. I don't know how y'all never heard of that one, man.
That's
my
because
favorite
I
article
grew up in a
ever-
hippie commune, and all my family are druggies. They've never used that term.
It's
no,
because
it's a J. It's a spliff.
a sleeve.
It is not a bone.
No, I understand. You could be rolling bones. We're rolling bones tonight. We're rolling bones tonight. Me and all these dinosaurs is getting stoned tonight.
Yeah.
Rip Trevor Moore.
Yep, but you are not. Smoking a bone has one very different.
Yeah.
I do want to say this though. We were talking about. Oh God, I lost it.
I
guys
vote
go-
Sully.
Oh,
Well,
man.
thank you.
I
And come and
blame-
subscribe. Come and subscribe to my
Sully.
channel. I also do a comic book shop weekly. I go to my local comic book shop. I show you the new release shelves on video and the insides of a wonderful local comic book shop that's been there in part of my life for 40 years. 40 years. Seriously. Yeah.
All right, Tyler. You got anything you want to recommend this week?
Yeah, I'd say Absolute Catwoman was surprisingly fun. I enjoyed that. Fury of the Firestorm #3 was really good. I still like it. And with this whole Stein heel turn, I think what we're going to get there is we're going to learn that initially the origins of Firestorm weren't the best, but then Ronnie kind of inspired him to actually be a hero and a good person. I think that's what we're going to get there. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Emperor Aquaman, I was sad that John Timms wasn't the artist on it, but I still enjoyed it. I like the Aquaman Hal team up. It's just, man, seeing John Timms draw that would have been cool. And then Real American Hero 329 was pretty good. Much better than last issue.
You got any big videos or streams people need to know about? You still playing Lego Batman?
I have not beat Lego Batman yet because I played it the week it came out, and then James Bond came out, and then I have not returned back to Lego Batman. So I do need to get back and play that. But no new videos this week. But I should have something up next week.
Very nice. And you recommend people check out UFC Freedom?
Yeah, which I forgot it's tomorrow. I forgot they're doing it because it was originally it's 250 for 250 years of America, and it was supposed to be on July 4th to celebrate that, and then they switched it to Trump's birthday, which is retarded, but that's what they did. So that's why it's tomorrow, because that's Trump's birthday.
Very nice. All right, Doc. Last but not least, you got anything you want to recommend this week?
Well, I do want to recommend people go check out our review of Bishop #1, and that'll be up on Monday, as well as our conversation about Rob Liefeld and his thin skin. But in honor of Liefeld, we are going to recommend a bunch of
recommending Bone. I knew it. No.
Nope. We're going to recommend this Cable Marvel Legends figure. This is my favorite version of Cable's costume.
Yeah.
Same.
I love this, especially the there was a handful of artists. Ian Churchill did it best, in my opinion, but there was a couple there was a couple other artists that did it really well as well. But
That's
yeah,
Churchill
this is
hair
definitely
on
my
that.
favorite. Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely Ian Churchill hair. Yep. And then we will go with a Liefeld variant to a great series that Wes loves, Uncanny X-Force. This is the Liefeld variant to #1. So it's a dope looking variant. I mean, it's Liefeld. There ain't no background. It's just a bunch of characters standing there. But it's fucking cool. And then we'll go with a life-felt homage, obviously, to Hulk 340, but also, doing his own thing. And Wolverine, he came back and did 2 issues of Wolverine. And again, it was with like ninjas and a bunch of random shit that nobody cared about. But it was Deadpool and Wolverine together in a story. Who cares?
Wait, hold that a second, Doc. I want to make a point about that. Has anyone ever done a draw through of that cover where they've taken Deadpool's mask off to illustrate how inhumanly far apart his eyes are?
He's like a shark.
Well, he doesn't have a nose either. So.
There is like a foot of distance between those 2 eyeballs.
Yep.
He looks like
They're all.
Have you ever seen that movie Splice?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It does look like that.
Yep. They do that. Rob does that a lot with how he makes the eyeballs so tiny because he has so much like wrinkles and skin pushing in.
Mm-hmm.
The if you erase all of the cross hatching and everything around it, it's little tiny beady eyes.
Yeah, I posted a Wolverine that someone had taken all the cross hatching and shadowing away, and it was just like, oh my god.
It's like a monstrous. And then, since he was talking about how he doesn't feel like he gets his just dues, so
he gets more than
an issue.
Just dues.
I know, but he's so mad about a fucking solicit and not being credited as a writer. Yes, this book sold very well, Rob, but it's the story isn't all that great. But it's First Spirits of Deadpool, so you can get it, and it's got this cool the old Punisher NES game.
Oh, that game was terrible.
Oh, cool.
It was really bad. It was like such a terrible kind of first-person shooter. It reminded me of the terrible Terminator 2 game too.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have never, a lot of our audience probably too young to have played this. We were so excited to get a Punisher game, but imagine a first-person shooter where you have the original Nintendo directional pad and you have to move your targeting reticle around with that pad. It was so annoying.
The light gun didn't work with this game?
No.
Really? That seems like a cop out.
It would have been perfect.
It was LJN. LJN never tried.
Man.
Yes, you would have if you could have played with the fucking duck hunt gun. The game would have been dope. It would have been everybody's favorite game ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you couldn't be allowed to shoot people with that gun, probably.
Wow.
So, hell, I would have taken the power glove.
You just punch him for the shoot him.
Yeah, Doc as the wizard.
So there we go. Those are my recommendations this week.
All right, there's just a little bit of gaming news I'll put out here. General Ballsack says, I'm looking forward to 007, Dylan, but I can't afford it yet. And I'm still fighting through Kingdom Come 2. I was an idiot and played it on hardcore mode. Too deep now to restart. Is it a bad idea to start on hardcore mode?
I haven't played Kingdom Come 2, so I don't know.
Do you always start out on easy mode or do you go for the hard one?
No, I always play on the hardest difficulty.
That's the only way to do it if you're a real gamer?
That's how I do it, yeah. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way to experience the game for the most part.
But you don't feel like if you're too deep into it, like you can't back out?
No, you can't switch. No, that's you can't. Because I know, like on the last Jedi Knight game that came out, I had a friend. I beat it all on the hardest difficulty, and I had a friend that because you can switch difficulties as you're playing. That played on the hardest difficulty, and then when you get stuck on a boss fight, would just switch it to the easiest one, beat it, and then switch it back. It's like you can't be doing that. Not ethical.
That's kind of cheating. So there you go. But you recommend 007?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I really liked it.
Very nice.
You know what I did this week, Wes? I went ahead and I downloaded, I bought and I downloaded Usagi Yojimbo and Karai, as well as Mondo Gecko and Mona Lisa for Shredder's Revenge. And I bought the Marvel Maximum Collection. So now I can now play the X-Men game where Magneto says the famous line, "Welcome to die."
Very nice. So you're going to finally finish the Shredder's Revenge game that you've been puffing up for years but never actually completed.
Never actually finished. Yes, I will. I will. When I take a break from all the work I'm doing, I will endeavor to beat that. And
That game's fun.
if you want to get the Marvel Maximum Collection, we could, you, me, and Dylan, we could team up as the X-Men. Maybe get Doc in there. 4-man X-Men.
You start a guild?
That's not how that works. Not every game you play together has guilds.
Could you imagine trying to get Wes to join like a lobby or a party to actually play a game together? Be like a 6-hour journey. Be like, I sent the invite, click the join button.
And he's like,
What?
The RF unit on the back of my TV. What do I have to do?
Like, are you trying to play this on NES?
No, the Atari 2600.
Did you plug it in?
Listen,
Where
that
was
wasn't
the
my
network
fault. The
connection?
controllers were broken. And yeah, it happens. All right, I'm out of here. These guys are mean. Everyone have a great weekend.
Get out.
Fantastic weekend of sports.
Go